Hey, hello guys. Trust all of you are doing good. Yeah, there was some communication error, so because of which I think you could not hear me out in the beginning. So here we go. Let's get started. So we have uh, two parts agenda today. One is the set theory. The second one is the logarithms. All right. Yeah. So if you look at them, both of them are very important topics. The set theory becomes even more important from that perspective because set theory at times is asked under quant. At times it is also asked under the LRDI section. So any of the management entrance exams for that matter, all it knows so that it can be either a part of a quant or it can be a part of LRDI. So let's keep that in mind, knowing that it's one of the important topics. Let's quickly look at what are the elements that's governing it. So because I'm doing two parts, what I do is the elementary parts of the set, I will leave it to you. So rather, I will deal more with the Venn diagram part of it, which is most important from the entrance exam perspective. So that's what comes under the set theory is primarily what I am interested in set theory is the Venn diagram part of it. I'm sure the basics you are all kind of clear about a little bit about the set theory. Therefore, as we go along, so we will try and discover, we'll try and explore what are the some of the nuances involved in the set theory discussion. So all of you, I believe that all of you know how to draw Venn diagram for 2 and 3 because more often than not, so at times we may have to end up drawing the Venn diagram for 2 and 3. So Venn diagram for 4 is rare. I'm not saying that it is not at all being asked. Very, very rarely, once in a decade, might be Venn diagram for 4 would have been asked to draw. In the sense, drawing perspective, you should draw and then you have to complete that particular theory. So a particular question. So but then let's focus, let's focus on at least Venn diagram 2 and 3 because that's a primary attention, knowing that 9 out of 10 questions, or in fact much more than that, 95 out of 100 questions are built on Venn diagram for 2 and 3. I'm sure that everybody is comfortable about that. So let's get on to the basic discussion on the set theory. That's a Venn diagram. So some of your teachers might have told you that, right? So your teachers might have said, so don't look at this question is not important from that perspective. So let me remind you about a couple of things. All right, now so one, your teachers might have said the Venn diagram, if you are filling this particular Venn diagram, it should be filled inside out. That's one of the words. All right, that is one of the words your teachers would have said, inside out. The Venn diagram should be filled inside out. All right, that's what they would have said. Okay, inside out means this should be filled first, this should be filled first, and then these are the ones which should be filled next. All right, this should be filled next. Similarly, if I look at Venn diagram for 3, all right, now this should be filled first. What they meant is, hey, this should be filled first, followed by this should be filled second. That's what you mean by next any of this is a second, and then this should be given the last preference is given to this. That's what you mean by filling the Venn diagram inside out. That's one of the words there, right? We got to fill the diagram inside out. The question is, what if I'm not able to fill it with inside out? I'm not able to fill inside out. What should be given here? To fill inside out, this should be given. What if that itself is not given? This should be given. That itself is not given. Then how do we go about this? If that is not given, then how do we go about that? Right? If it is filled inside out, right, then you would say that, all right, in that case, all right, now you would understand that, you would understand that the formulas are given. That is number of elements in A union B. Number of elements in A union B is nothing but number of elements in A plus number of elements in favor of B minus number of elements in favor of both A and B. Similarly, you would have learned for three things as well. A union B. Likewise, you would have learned it for number of elements in ABC as well. I'm sure all of you would have learned for that as well. I'm not denying that, okay, you wouldn't have learned for that. I'm just telling you, this is one of the statements your teacher would have made. Second thing is the very alert importance of the word only. Alert importance of the word only. Be cautious about the word only. Alert only means exactly one. Absence of only means at least one. So now these are the two important things your teachers might have told you about, right? Now, and then they would have also taught you how to draw a Venn diagram for two, the way I've drawn the circle, and then etc. Right? Yeah. So all that is fine. So now, so there are two approaches. All right. Now, so one, people use the formula approach. The second one is the logical approach or the middle value approach, whatever you consider it. All right, logical approach. See, idea is combination of both of them is important. That's the best way. The balanced approach is always better. So you don't have to heavily bank on formulas and equations. Some people write a lot of equations. You don't have to do that. Rather, like, try and approach the questions with certain numbers. Wherever it is required to put the formula, you can put. Where it is not required, you don't have to do it. All right, let's do a couple of 4 or 5 sets. By the time, like, now we'll get a hang of this particular one. Let's see. So how do we go about this? First, let's take a look at this question, a pretty simple question. So to make a decision here, so a survey of 100 children, so it's given total is 100. In a survey of 100 children, 60 play cricket. Now see, there is a only. I'll let now you be cautious about this word only. Is there a only there? No. Therefore you say that cricket is 60 play cricket, right? Therefore 60 play cricket. It did not say only cricket. Had it been only cricket, would have written it here. So but it is not only cricket, it is cricket, which means what? Hey, it has been divided into two groups, C1 and C2. Been divided into two groups. There is C1 and C2. 60, which means some of them play only cricket, some of them play little more than cricket, in the sense cricket and maybe some other sport, yeah, or maybe some other sport, right? So that's just like already if I ask you that, okay, so how many of you passed math already in 10th? So you would say that, okay, all the hands who are listening to this particular lecture will go up, well, because all of you passed math in 10th. But did it mean that you passed math only, or you passed only math in 10th? No. If it is only math in 10th, all the hands will go down, because only math in 10th, you passed only math in 10th means what? You failed other subjects. That's not the truth. All right, that's not the fact. So that's the something there. Already, absence of only means minimum. Absence of only means minimum. The number of people playing minimum cricket is 60. All right, not minimum number of people playing cricket is 60. Minimum 60. All right, minimum. All right, now they play that minimum sport. That's cricket. At least they play. So in addition to that, they may be playing a little more as well, right? Now that's a meaning there. My point is, be wary of the word only. That's it. If the word only is not there, then understand that it can be more than one cell. It can be more than one cell. Only means it is restricting it to proper number of cells, right? Yeah, here hockey, second point, 70 play hockey 70. So again, I don't write it here. If I write it here, it becomes only hockey. Hockey 70 implies what? Okay, some people play only hockey, but some people may be playing little more than hockey as well, right? And 5 play none. So none would be here. The 5 play none. 5 play none. Okay. So therefore, what you will say here, number of people who are playing cricket or hockey. Cricket or hockey is nothing but number of people who are involved in cricket, number of people who are playing hockey, minus number of people who are playing both cricket and hockey. So this is the set theory formula which you know from your high school, or which you know substituted there. Number of people playing cricket or hockey is how much, friends? 100. If you write 100, answer becomes wrong. It is 100 minus 5. Okay, where is that particular 5? It's here. 100 minus 5, because 5 is none. All right, the 5 of them play none. Therefore, remove that part. All right, now therefore 95 people play cricket or hockey. Union means what? What is the meaning of the word union? Or. All right, union is nothing but or. All right, how many of them play cricket or hockey? Cricket or hockey is nothing but 100 minus 5, because 5 of them don't play anything. Therefore, that's 95. How many play cricket? 60, because the word is not only cricket. How many play cricket? 60. Okay, how many play hockey? 70, because it's not only hockey. When you write number of elements in H, that's nothing but 70. Okay, minus number of people who are involved in both the sports. All right, now and this is and. All right, cricket and hockey. All right, now let me call it as X. So therefore, when you simplify this, 95, which is 130 minus X, therefore X is equal to 35. You get the value of X is equal to 35. Good. So now you are saying that, okay, this is 35. 35 of them are involved in both. That's what you mean by inside out. See, now you reached here. You reached here inside out. Okay. So therefore, I wrote the innermost element, which is 35. Now what? It's a cakewalk. Once the innermost element is known to us, it becomes a lot more easier to navigate it through, right? Yeah. So therefore, come back to this cricket here. Come back to cricket. How much is cricket here? 60. Or easier. Therefore, how much more should be outside? It should be another 25. Good. Similarly, look the other side here. Call it how many cricket, how many are hockey? 70. Out of 70, 35 is in one cell, because it is H1 and H2, two cells here. Right? 35 here. Therefore, how much more here? Another 35. Right? Therefore, another 35. Thereby, you get answers to all the questions. How many children play both the games? Sure, this is 35, which we know. How many children do not play one game? How many do not play one game does not mean it becomes two games. How many do not play one game? All right, now these people play one game. Remove the people who are playing one game. Rest of them do not play one game. Right? Therefore, all right, now these people play one game. So how many do not play one game? 35. and this 5. They do not play one game. They don't play one game. They do something else. Either they play 0 games or they play, because when you look from the game perspective, 3 things. They play 0 games, or they play 1 game, or they play 2 games. How many of them do not play 1 game means what? I don't want this. I don't want this. I want to add these values. This is 5 here. And what is this here? How many of them play 2 games? 35 here. 35 plus 5, which is nothing but 40. Sometimes you just pay attention to the language in the set theory. That's what I meant by the second question. Why did I twisted the language a little bit? Because sometimes they twist the language that way. Right? Yeah, okay. So you are getting orienting to this. Let's take another one. Let me introduce some keywords here. Let me write some numbers. Let me write some numbers and let me quickly illustrate. Okay, let's say that this is 10, this is 7, this is 8, and this is 2, and I have 20, I have 25, and I have 30. Let's have 30. Let's say that, okay, now these are the readers of magazines ABC in a locality. Let me take this example. So I went to a locality, I conducted a survey of how many of you read magazine A, how many of you read magazine B, how many of you read magazine C, right? So how many of you read magazine C? So that was my survey. Good. All right. So these were my responses. 30 of them said that we are loyal to only magazine A. We wrote only that particular magazine. 20 of them said we read only magazine B. 25 said they read only magazine C. Likewise. Okay, my 3 important questions here. All that is fine. Let me come back to these 3 questions. Guys, put the answer to these 3 questions based on the data. Based on the data ABC, why don't you quickly put the answers to these 3 questions? Put the number, put the number. How many read both A and B, both magazines A and B? How many read magazines A and B? How many read magazines only A and B? Talking about the magazines A and B. Put it there quickly, put your numbers there in those cells. Yeah, good. All right. How many read both magazines A and B? Number of people reading both magazines A and B. You would say that both. All right. Now the word is both magazine A and B. Ask these 10 people here. Do you all right now they read A and B here? What about these 3 people? There is A, B, and C. For these 2 people, A also is fine. B and C. Now read. My question is what? How many of them read both magazines A and B? Is there A B here? Yes. Is there A B here? Yes. Therefore, the answer has to be 10 plus 2. All right, answer has to be 10 plus 2 because I didn't say that how many of them read only C. If you write here, it is only A here. It is A. All right, it is only B. All right, it is only B here. This is only C here. Hey, what is this? This is BC here. Hey, what is this? This is AC here. So, but my question was what? How many of them read both A and B? A is as well as B. A and B, not A or B. It is A and B. A and B is how much? 10 plus 2. All right, now 10 of them read exactly A and B, only A and B, and 2 of them read minimum A and B. Therefore, both of them put together. Now, second question. What happened in the second question? This word is missing. In the second question, this word both is missing. What I'm trying to say is that is missing. Will it change the meaning because that word is missing? No, that does not change the meaning. My answer still becomes 10 plus 2. Both is what? Both is conditioning our mind, right? Both means all the moment you read both, you know that author is going to talk about 2 things. That is the meaning of that, nothing beyond. So therefore, both is there or not, that does not change my answer. How many of them read only A and B? This time, all right, now its author is very clear. Only A and B means what? No more, no less. Exactly this word AB should come together. It comes only once. Therefore, the answer becomes 10. My point is be mindful about the word. Sometimes you will find word both. Sometimes you don't find that word both. Sometimes you find the word only. Just be little wary and careful about this. Then you are fine. All right, then you are fine. Right, more importantly, be wary of the word only. Absence of only and the presence of only makes a lot of difference to that particular number, how many cells, because the moment you have only, it refers to one cell. It refers to, generally it refers to one cell. Absence of only refers to more than one cell. Absence of only refers to more than one cell. That's the best way to remember that information. Good. All right, let's go to the next question here. Let's take a look at this question. Do it together with me. Let's do it together. Do it together with me. Yeah. Well, what does it say here? Right, it says that Read this question. In a survey of 25 students, it was found. See, always how to read, I will tell you. Don't worry about this. This is the info. All right, now all this is the info. How to read the info is, hey, this Venn diagram should be filled inside out. Did they give this to me or not? If they have not given, I have to quickly use the formula. That's the first thing. All right, now quickly read the information. Don't get stuck with this number, this number, this number. Don't get stuck. Read quickly to understand, hey, has this fellow given me this middle information or not? Right? Yes, he has given us the last sentence. 3 had taken all 3 subjects. Very good. If that is given the meaning, I don't have to use any formula, nothing whatsoever. Very good. So therefore you would say that 3, I got the middle number. I got the middle number. What is this survey is about? Physics, chemistry, math. All right, physics, chemistry, maths. All right, student found the survey. Who is interested in what? All right, a survey of 25 students. It was found that 15 of them had taken math, etc. All right, now so who is interested in what? That's what we are kind of surveying here. Good. Okay, so therefore, all right, now here, then what? Region of 2. Here I need to fill. Next is what? I need to come here. All right, that's a region. All right, this is where I need to focus upon. All right, let me try and focus those numbers. So what does it say? 4 had taken physics and chemistry. Physics and chemistry 4, which means 3 is already here. Therefore, how much you should write? 1 more. Right? Yeah. And then further, 9 had taken both mathematics and physics. 9 had taken both math and physics. So here, so for 3 is already here. Therefore, remaining 6, because it's not only. Guys, there is no word only there. If it is only, then you are talking one cell. All right, otherwise we are talking about more than one cell. All right, more than one cell. So that's the meaning of that word 9. 9 had taken both math and physics, which means what? Math and physics should be a part of. All right, now, so is this 3 a part of math and physics? Of course, yes, why not? But and little more, where is that little more coming? That little more is this particular circle. These two stars put together should be equal to 9. That's what it means. Perfect. All right, now go to the next one. All right, go to the next one. 5 had taken math and chemistry. Where is math and chemistry? This 3 and something more. What is that something more? That is 2. Okay, then 11 had taken, here we are, 11 had taken chemistry. So outside, 11 had taken chemistry is outside. It's not, this is where you write 11 because there is no word only there. 11 had taken chemistry. Now out of 11, now look at this, 1 is here, 3 is here and 2 is here. So 1 plus 3 plus 2, which means 6 are already there, minus 6. Therefore, what is the remaining number? 11 is there, minus 6. Therefore, it is 5. Therefore, you are saying that 5 of them are exclusively interested or taken chemistry. 5 of them exclusively taken the specialization in chemistry there. So that's a meaning. That's a meaning. Right? 11. That's how you are adjusting that particular number. Good. Let's go to physics similarly. Physics is what? 12. So physics is 12. Where I should write outside, my friends, outside. That's 12. Okay, therefore out of this 12, 6 is here, 3 is here and 1 is here. Right, therefore that is 10. Already if that values are 10, what is the remaining value here? So which is going to be 2. Similarly, the last one, 15 had taken math. Right, 15 had taken math, where I should write outside because the word is not only math. Then look at these numbers that are already there. 6 plus 3 plus 2, that's 11 are already there. So therefore 11, 15 minus 11, which becomes what? 4. All right, that becomes 4. So now the set is ready. All right, set is ready. So what is that? This number outside, number 25. Therefore 25. What is that one more number here? None. All right, that would be none. So how do I get the value of none? All right, none is nothing but 25. Now look at it. Subtract all these cells, friend. 2 plus 1, 3 plus 5, 8 plus 2, 10 plus 3, 13, and this is 19. Sorry, 13 plus 6, 19, 19 plus 4, 23. Therefore, all right, now how much more is left? 2 more is left because total should become how much? 25. But sum of all the values inside the cell is becoming only 23. Right? Add up all the values inside the cell. Don't add up the values outside the cell. These are support numbers. These are support numbers. These are not primary numbers. What you write inside the cell, this 5, this 2, these are very important numbers, right? Yeah, these are very important numbers. Good. So thereby I'll let now to the questions. Questions can be addressed. Questions can be addressed. First one, only chemistry, we know. Only physics, we know. Nothing is required because the innermost element is given. The moment the innermost element is given, you don't have to necessarily go through the ordeals of the equations, formulas, etc. All that is not required. All that is required provided the innermost element is not given. All right, provided innermost element is not given. Okay, then we just introduce two different words, the absence of only, the presence of only, whatever, right? So all these kind of things we kind of got introduced. Fair enough. Let's go further. Let's go further. Let's take one of the questions which came in the exam here. This was the question which came in the exam. So why don't you take 2-3 minutes and quickly close this question? Take 2-3 minutes. This was an exam question, friends. Try it out. So I gave the background, I gave the orientation to this. I oriented you about the subject. So let's try a couple of exam questions now. Good guys. Okay, I allowed sufficient time. Let's take a look here. A survey of a society whose residents are mainly businessmen show that 1/6 of the society residents or residents own bungalows. Okay, so now look at this. How he's talking. He's talking in terms of fractions. And look at the questions after that as well. You might have taken a look already. So everything is in terms of fraction. No problem. So what is he saying that? Okay, he's saying that the base is your choice. The base is your choice. What do you want to take? The base is your choice. So how do you decide the base? All it as you've been following some of my lectures, I told you that pay attention to fractions. What is he saying? 1/6 of the society residents own bungalows. Good. So therefore my base should be a multiple of 6 because there will be some number n. That n should be divisible by 6 because you cannot cut the people, right? So it should be a multiple of 6. All right. Okay. And 1/4 own flats. Good. It should be 1/4 own flats. That's with respect to flats. Okay. This is with respect to flats. This is with respect to bungalow. And 1/8 of those who own bungalows do not own flats. Oh, which means I got to be able to take 1/8 of this number as well. So therefore, this is the compounding effect. This is the compounding effect, right? In the sense, 1/8 of those who already own bungalow. How many own bungalow? 1/6. You already said that how many own bungalow? 1/6. I should be able to do 1/8, which means total minimum 48 people should be there. Your total should be a multiple of 48. Because how 48? Hey, 6 into 8. Alright, that's 48. And for LCM of, basically you're saying that okay, I will take the LCM of. Alright, basically you will say I'll take the LCM of 8 into 6, 48, 48 comma 4, alright, which becomes 48. Therefore you'll say that minimum 48. Hey, no, 48 multiple, that's also fine for me. That's also fine for me. But 48 is good enough. 48 is good enough. See, if you look at some of the answer options, that's where this 48 is coming. All right, if you look at some of the answer options, others might have been simplified, but if you look at the answer options, that is why the 48 is dominating. It's easy to figure out. I'm not saying that because 48 is dominating you should assume 48. No, I meant that hey, we know the fractions, so we know how to build these particular numbers. You will say 48 or a multiple of 48, because anyway your answer options are going to be fractions. When you write x and x will get cancelled in the numerator and denominator. Therefore, why not take 48 itself as the number? That's fair enough. If required, we will revise it. That we will see later. Let's take it as 48. Now write down the numbers here, friends. Let's write down the numbers. Bungalow and flats. This is a bungalow and this is flats. In that colony, how many are owning these particular bungalows and flats? So what is given? Come back to these particular words here. 1/6 of the society residents own bungalow. 1/6 of them own bungalow. All right. Therefore, how many own bungalows? 1/6 of what? How many own bungalows? 1/6 of the resident. How many residents you took here? 48. 48. 1/6 of 48. Therefore, 8. So you say that okay, 8 of them own bungalow. Hey, don't write inside here. Don't write here. Let 8 of them own bungalow. Simple. All right. Good. So that's what you say there. That's what you say. Then they come to the second point here. Come to the second point. 1/4 own flats. Say how many own flats? 1/4. 1/4 of what? 48. Therefore, what is that particular number? 12. Therefore, 12 of them own flats. That's what you could have written. That's what you would have written there. Good. All right. So that's the second piece of information. And what is the third piece of information? The third piece of information, it's also a little further. It's given that 1/8 of those who own bungalows, already they own bungalows. Yeah, how many own bungalows? 8 of them. Good. So the who own bungalows do not own flats. Okay, we'll come to that. First, let's find out 1/8 of the number. Yeah, 1/8 of what? 1/8 of the people who own the bungalow. How many of them own the bungalow? 8. It's here 8. What is 1/8 of 8? 1. This one fellow, this one person out of these 8 persons, all right, they do not own flats. Do not own flats, which means owns only a bungalow, because this fellow owns a bungalow, but not flat. Do not own flat means what? Owns a bungalow but not flat, which means exclusively bungalow. Only one fellow owns only a bungalow but not a flat. But this number is 8 here. This number is 8. So this is split. Therefore 1 plus 7, because out of this 8, if 1 is here, then the remaining 7 should be here. Remaining 7 should be here, right? Yeah, so same way, let know same thing goes true for this 12 as well. Out of this 12, if 7 is here, all right, then this particular cell should be 12 minus 7, all right, which should be 5, all right, which should be 5. We have to split that, all right, that's outside number there. So therefore what? You got the numbers inside the cell. Good. Okay, out of this 48, now come back to this number. Total is 48. 1 is here, 7 is here, 5 is here. What is it, friends? 13. Okay, I know the position of 13 people. All right, then what about remaining 35? They don't own, but they stay in society either on rent or on lease. That's what you mean here. Either they are renting or they are leasing, or either they are renting or leasing. That's what is happening with the remaining 35 residents in that particular area out of 48. So okay, all numbers are in place. Thereby you will get the answers to the given questions. Already you get all the answers to the given questions. I hope all of you followed this discussion here. All right, so the numbers are in place. Numbers look like this now. All the numbers are well in place with this. Good. Take a look at the first question. What fraction of the society residents own both bungalow and a flat? Both bungalow and a flat. What? 7. 7 out of what? 48. Well, it's 7 out of 48. All right. Second one. What fraction of society residents own either a bungalow or a flat? All right. Now I spoke about either or. I spoke about either or in my probability chapter. Either or means what? Exactly one. Either bungalow or flat. So what is that number here? 1 here and 5 here. So together it becomes how much? 6. Therefore you say that okay, therefore it is 6 divided by 48. 6 divided by 48, which is 1 by 8. All right, that is either or. Okay, the second one. What fraction of the residents own bungalow or? Bungalow or. It is not either or. There is no either here. All right, there is no either here. I want either a bungalow. Either is not there. Just or. Just or means what? Minimum 1. Just or means at least 1. So this time what it becomes? You have to consider this 1 here. Well, this 1 is fine, this 5 is fine, and this 7 is also fine. Therefore, it has become 13 by 48. It has become 13 by 48. Here it was 6 by 48, and here it is 13 by 48. There is a difference. Either or is different from simple or. Either or is different from simple or. Right? I already illustrated that very clearly in my probability lecture. Okay, fourth one. What fraction of the society residents own neither a bungalow nor a flat? All right, they own neither of them, neither a bungalow nor a flat. How much? 35. 35 out of how much, friends? 48. 35 out of 48. Okay, that's about that question. Pretty simple one. All right, simple one. Let's take another one here. Let's take another one. This is a quant question. It came as a quant section. This question came under quant section. Why don't you look at this data? Right? At least read the data for a minute. Read the data for a minute and try to organize the data for another 30 seconds or so. Just start organizing, then we'll do it together. Yeah, okay. So what's been stated here? Again, just the way we did there, right? Yeah. So try and start from inside out. If you can get some information about the innermost piece, which is very, very good. Or if I can get that, yes, solid, that's going to be very, very good. Let's try for this. Let's see. There are 435. So what's given to me? There are 435. Just a second, my friends. Hmm, yeah. Okay, there are 435 boxes which contain at least one of the three items, that is chocolate, toffee, and peanut. Chocolate, toffee, and peanuts. The number of boxes that contain that contain only chocolates is okay. So here, what is that here? How is it starting? 435 contain at least one of the three items. In the sense, if you say my total is 435, none is zero. Just be mindful about the way he's starting that information. At least one of the three items, which means all out of these 435 boxes, there is no empty box. In the sense, there is something else other than chocolate, toffee, and peanut. No, so we don't have anything other than this. So all this 435 boxes are made up of chocolate, toffee, or peanuts. At least one of them, right? Therefore none is zero. So that's the meaning of the word here, at least one of the three items. Okay, so that implies that directly I can put it as zero if my total is 435. Out of 435, the none part is zero. Great, let's go further. The number of boxes that contain only chocolates is 10 times the number of boxes that contain only peanuts. 10 times the number of boxes only contain peanuts. If I say that only peanuts is X, I would have loved to start here, but anyway, bad luck, I'm not starting there. Nevertheless, okay, well, let me start there. X, if that is X, then the number of solid now, yeah, I started X here. Therefore, the number of boxes containing only chocolates become 10 times. See the word, pay attention to the word only here. Let's be mindful of that. So therefore, I wrote X here, not outside here, not here. Right, so therefore I'm mindful of writing where to write, because there is an importance of word only here. X, then chocolate would become how much? 10x. Then the chocolate would become how much? 10x. All right, so the next one, the number of boxes that contain only toffees, this one, the only toffees, is 20 times the number of boxes that contain only chocolates and peanuts. Say, where is only chocolates and peanuts? Only chocolates and peanuts is here. Yeah, what is that number? No idea. Leave it for the time being. Leave it. Let's go further, because I know some two cells. Can I capitalize on these cells? Always you got to read with that intention, just like a logical puzzle. All right, don't be all right now hassled or just get stuck at some place. Just continue. That's how you do the Venn diagrams technically. Any logical puzzle for that matter. Look for the continuation. Don't be in a hurry to represent by using too many variables. Might not be required. All right, let's go to the next sentence. The number of boxes that contain only peanut. All right, again, the word is only. Only peanut is 1/5 of the number of boxes that contain only toffees. All right, only peanut versus only toffees. All right, 1/5 of means what? This is 5x. This is going to be 5x, because the number of peanuts, the box's number of peanuts is 1/5 of number of toffees. In other words, toffees is 5 times of peanuts, because you already had a variable here 5. Therefore, why don't you write the other side of it? So you would be writing it as 5x. Perfect. All right, so therefore that fits in. All right, now information is done. 210 boxes contain toffees. Okay, this is 210, because he didn't say only toffees, he said toffees. Now the question, therefore, how many boxes contain only one kind of item, which means how many boxes contain only coffee, only chocolate, only toffee, and only and only peanut. This is what he wants. Only. That exactly one kind of item is this. Okay, there is one information that we left in between. Let's go there, plug it up. So one information that we left is what here? The number of boxes that contain only toffees is 20 times the number of boxes that contain chocolates and peanuts. This is 20 times. All right, in the sense, if you write y here, you are supposed to be writing it as 20y. All right, 20 times of this. If you write y there, you are supposed to be writing it as 20y. But then I know that all it knows, so 20y is nothing but what? 5x. 20y is equal to 5x. We know that 20y is equal to 5x. Okay, you write the value of y or x, whatever you want to write. Therefore x is equal to, therefore x is also equal to 4y. X is equal to 4y. Change every information in terms of y. X is equal to 4y. Write it here, 4y. Go with the blue one, 4y. X is equal to 4y. 10 into 4y, 40y. All right, 10 into 4y, 40y. So this I will take it as y, and this I will take it as 20y. Just go with the green cells. That's easier, right? Life is easier with the green cells. What you did, you write everything in terms of one variable, because you know that x is equal to 4y. So wherever x was there, why don't you change it to y? All right, based on the last piece of information. Otherwise, you will end up writing fraction. No, I don't want to write fraction. Just change the numbers to some other number. All right, change the numbers to some other number. What you did, you started with x, then you had to introduce something, change everything to something so that there is no fraction out there. That's the whole idea. Good. Now listen to this, guys. If out of 435, let me write that red portion. Let me remove it now, because there is no point retaining that information. Okay, now this is what I have. All right, this is what I have, and my information is done. With this, my information is over. So on, what do I do with this? So now here he's saying that look, all these cells are 210. Which cells are 210? This cell, this cell, this cell, and this cell. So all of this circle put together is 210. And I know that is 210. Now look at this hash, the second hash, and the third hash. What should the value of these three hash put together? Value of these three hash put together is 435 minus 210, which becomes 225. That should be the value of all these hashed regions. Right, hashed region should be nothing but this, because 435 is that word, 435 is the total, out of which I know that these four stars put together is 210. But how does it will become 435? Therefore there are three more hashes outside, right? These hashed regions would add up to the remaining portion. What is the remaining portion? 225. But what are the values in the hashed region, friends? 40y and one full y and another 4y. So what does it become? 45y. So you are trying to say that 45y, you are trying to say 45y is equal to 225 here. 45y is equal to 225. Therefore what is the value of y? Value of y is equal to 5. Therefore you are trying to say value of y is equal to 5. Once you got the value of y, you got only peanuts. That is 4 into 5, which is 20. So this is 40 into 5, all right, which is 200. All right, this is 20 into 5, which is 100. Right, therefore together it becomes 200 plus 100 plus 20, all right, which becomes 320. Simple question, pretty simple question. All you got to do is just learn to work with the way the author is flowing the information. So this is how you will also get some questions as a part of quant. Here is another beautiful question. Take a look at this. Then I will do maxima minima on this. I will introduce you to maxima minima. Do this question, simple one. Yeah, two parameters. Right now, round trip, that's a two-way trip. All right, now that's two-way tickets, round trip tickets. Let me write it like this. Round trip tickets, RT. What is RT? RT means they have two tickets, right? Round trip going as well as coming. And the second part is what? Pets. And about pets, we're talking about pets, round trip tickets, all right, round trip tickets and pets. Okay, so whatever be the size, let me take it as 100 people are there. Let me take it as 100. That's easier, isn't it? Let me take it as 100 people have attended. Why? Because look at the answers anyway, percentages. Therefore why don't we take the base as 100? If I take the base as 100, that's easier, right? All right, we did that. Let's assume. So let's go further. Now what is saying? 20% of the passengers, how many passengers? 100. So therefore 20% of the passengers held round trip ticket and also pets. All right, now and also took their pets abroad the flight. They took also onto the flight. So how many I should write here? 20. Great. All right, now that's 20. Therefore this particular number is 20 here. So that's given because the base I fixed as 100, because my answers are in 100, the language is 100. Fair enough. Look at the second piece of the language here. That is saying that, hey, if 60% of the passengers with the round trip ticket did not, the word is did not take their pets abroad. See, 60% of the passengers, let's say that a round trip ticket or X people, or there are X people here, 60% of X is here. This is 60% of X. Therefore, what this should be here? 40% of X. All right, now go back and understand that 60% of X, once again, the green underlined one. All right, assume that the number of people with the round trip tickets are X people. Out of these 100 people, there are X people who own the round trip ticket. Let's assume like that. Like out of X, 100 people, X people who own the round trip ticket. Some of them will have pets, some of them don't have pets. Now read that if 60% of these X, 60% of the passengers with round trip ticket, which means what? 60% of X did not take their pets on the flight, which means did not take their pets on the flight means what? They went without their flight. So that is the 60% of X. Then what about the remaining 40% of that X? Remaining 40% of X took their pets as well. Therefore that is 20. Now simple guys, 40% of X is equal to 20. Simple calculation, right? 40% of X is equal to 20. Therefore, excuse me, all right, 40% of X is equal to 20. Therefore, all right, what is 100% of X? 100% of X is nothing but 50. That's what you say, that X is equal to 50. So you write this remaining number as 30. All right, whereas this X is equal to 50. X is equal to 50. Good. All right, now so the question here, what percent of the flight passengers held a round trip ticket? Question is X divided by 100. What is the value of X here? 50. 50 divided by 100. How much percentage? 50 percentage. That's the question. Is author is not questioning about this. Hey, tell me how many of them have the pets, because information is not given. Can I find that? You can't find that. You can't find that, right? So therefore, all it does not make sense there. All right, yeah, it does not make sense. It does not. Hey, we can find right. 20% of the passengers, because at least they should be having at least one ticket, right? We can't say that they don't have the tickets. Good. All right. Anyways, so the answer to this particular question is 50%. Let's go further. Let's go further. Now we can't find that, because here you'll be having no round trip and no pet. No round trip and no pet. There will be some passengers with no round trip tickets and also no pets. All right, therefore, that question, if I say that, okay, how many people have only, what is the percentage of the people who have pets? All right, what is the percentage of people who have only pets? That cannot be answered. All right, now partial information is given and partial question has been asked. Okay, let's take a look here. I'm introducing you to maxima minima. Let's take a look here. Let me introduce, because these thoughts are important. Right, okay. So out of 100 students enrolled in a sport club, 70 are enrolled for cricket and 80 are enrolled for hockey. First question is, what could be the maximum number of students enrolled for both cricket and hockey? All of you know that answer is 70. You just look at these particular numbers. Okay, there is 70 here, there is 80 here. Therefore, you would simply say that 70 is the answer, lower of the two numbers. Right, lower of the two numbers. That's a maxima, simple. Right, maxima is pretty simple. Okay, second one, what could be the minimum number of students enrolled for both cricket and hockey? Now, this time I'm talking about minimum. Let me explain both maxima and minima. Assume that the students are names are S1, S2, S3. Like this, we have S70. Then you have S71, S80, then S81, then I have S100. Assume it like this. Okay, so now let me explain the first one first. How the first one will look on this is something like this. 70 people are enrolled for cricket. Assume that these are the first 70 names enrolled for cricket. Fantastic. All right, the next one. So 80 people enrolled for hockey. We are saying that hockey. This is also hockey. This will be only hockey till here, only hockey. Hey, what about this? No cricket, no hockey. No cricket, no hockey. So all these kids will be no cricket as well as no hockey. No cricket and no hockey. So therefore you got your answer. Your answer was what? This particular number called 70. That is what you said for the first question. First question, this is the working style. All right, this is the working style for the first question. Okay, let's go to the second question. How does my working will change for the second question? Let's understand this. Let me write the same part here. Because once you understand this particular structure, it is a lot more easier, right? Lot more easier to deal with this. Okay, take one of them, take any of them, that's your choice. Let me take the bigger of the numbers simply here. 80 of them enrolled for hockey. Let me write hockey here. 80 students enrolled for hockey. I'll go on and I will say that, okay, 80 of them enrolled for hockey. Done. Then you are saying that because I'm working for a minima here, remember, I'm working for a minima. I don't want them to participate in both the sports to the extent possible. Then I'll come to the first piece of information. It is said that in the first piece, 70 of them enrolled for cricket. It is said that 70 of them enrolled for cricket. 70 enrolled for cricket. I'll start writing cricket here. Cricket. How many? 20. There are 70 cricketers, out of which 20 cricketers are allocated. I know the names of 20 cricketers, 81, 82, like this up to 100. Now there are 50 more cricketers. Now I cannot say that, hey, I will give another one more time. I will allocate a cricket for you. No, there are already 20 cricketers there. What about these 50 cricketers? I am writing cricket like this. I have to stop at S50. At S50 I will write another cricket and I am done. So my cricket is also allocated. All 70 crickets are allocated. Therefore, what is the answer now? 50. Alright, therefore the answer would become 50 here. Alright, answer would become 50. Now this can also be done by and you people generally add up these two numbers, 70 plus 80, alright, which becomes 150 minus, they will subtract this number 100. Alright, which becomes 50. Both are same. That's what I technically did. Alright, now that's what I technically did. First row, look at that, 100 variables are used. 100 variables are used. 150 variables I had, out of which 70 are of one type of variables called C, 80 are another type of variables called H. Totally how many variables I have to allocate? 150 variables. Duplication, there may not be 150 distinct variables, it's 150 variables. Right, 150. I allocated 100 variables in the first row. The moment you start writing in the second row, naturally, the moment you write the second row, they will be participating, which means that fellow will have two variables. For example, S1 has two variables, S2 also has two variables, so therefore you will remove 100, so remaining 50 will be allocated two variables. That's your answer there. Okay, keep that thought. We will explore it. We'll extend that particular thought. We'll extend that particular thought. Keep it in mind. Let's come here. Let's answer this question. All things become a lot more clearer. If you have understood what I said so far, why don't you pay a little bit of attention to this? All right, in the sense, take a minute quickly, assimilate the data, try it out. How does it look? Yeah. Okay, out of 100 students enrolled for at least one, the word is important here, at least one of the three workshops at the boot camp. 75 enrolled for verbal workshop, 80 enrolled for DI workshop, and 85 enrolled for quant workshop. Okay, anyway, some numbers there. All right, now so some numbers there. What could be the maximum number of students registered for all the three workshops? Second one is minimum. First one is maximum, the second one is minimum. Okay, what do I do on the first one? All right, first one, just like the way we worked on this. So 75 plus 80 plus 85, total number of variables. All right, assume that there are 75 variables called V, and there are 80 variables called D is D. All right, then there are 85 variables called Q. Okay, how many variables I have now? 75 plus 80 plus 85, which is nothing but 240. I have 240 variables. Now 200 different type of variables naturally. All right, now some of them are of type V, some of them are of type D, some of them are of type Q. Okay, what I do here, I have 100 students. Right now there are 240 variables. First give everybody one. First you give everybody one. There are 240 variables, give everybody one. Which variable? You give whatever you like, don't bother about it. Give one variable first. Once you give one variables, you are left with 140 more variables. 140 more variables. Now what you will do with this 140 more variables? Give two more to the kids. Therefore the answer becomes 70. Give two more, because you already given one. Give two more. You didn't get it, let me explain that. But if you have not got it, let me explain. There is S1, S2, S3. All right, like this, there is S70, S71. Likewise, there are 100 kids, let's assume. All right, 240 variables. The variables are of type V, D, and Q. Don't bother, just start giving some variables. So you give 1 like this, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Okay, so everybody you gave 1. That's what I mean by minus 100. You had a total of 240 variables. You gave 100 to them. You gave 100 to them. How many are left there? For 140. Start giving another extra 2 variables, because you can't give more than 3 variables. Why more than 3 variables? Because a fellow can attend only 3 workshops, right? I can attend one verbal workshop, one DI, and one quant. These are the only 3 types of workshops he can enroll for. So therefore plus 2 more. You would have already given one variable here. Assume that you already gave a quant here. You gave quant here, then you give remaining 2 verbal and DI you give, right? Likewise, if you have already given a verbal here, if you have already given, give the remaining 2. Don't give verbal once more. All right, you can't attend. All right, there is no point. All right, now doing the enrolling for verbal boot camp 2 times. Why? You will know verbal, you will enroll only once. That's only 1 seat, because you can't sit on 2 seats there, right? 2. So therefore plus 2. Therefore you will say that divided by 2 more. 140 divided by 2, how much? 70. So start giving that plus 2 to all these kids. Therefore you say that your answer is nothing but 70. All right, that is the maximum, right? That is the maximum. Okay, let's do the minimum. I hope everybody understood this 70, right? All of you understood this 70, what I did here, that's 70. Second one, what could be the minimum? Opposite of this, he's saying that, okay, what could be the minimum here? Minimum number of students registered for all the three workshops. What could be the minimum? All right, what could be the minimum? So how do I do the minima here? Second round also you give one more. Second round also you give one more to all the kids. This is the idea, guys. This is the idea. Second round also you give one more. Say you had 240 variables, 100 variables you assigned in the first round, 100 variables you assigned in the second round. So now nobody is qualified because I want the minimum, all right, minimum, but they are attended, they have registered for all three workshops. So far, all right, out of 240 variables, I allocated 200 variables. Nobody has got three, or nobody has enrolled for all three workshops, but then still 40 more are left. Start giving here plus one more, plus one more, plus one more, till where? Till 40. All right, till 40, student number 40. Well, this fellow would have already enrolled for two workshops, another one workshop. All right, therefore this has become how much here? 40. Therefore how much it has become? 40. All right, now that has become 40. That's answer there. Simple, guys. All right, now so once you understood this particular logical flow, getting to the answers is never a big deal. All right, it's never going to be a greater challenge. Okay, if you have understood this, do this particular set on maxima here, do at least couple of questions. I hope everybody got this. This is the idea. When you want to get the minima, do two rounds of one, and then allocate 40 more. Allocate 40 more. All right, when you wanted the maxima, do only one round. Do only one round of 100. Remaining 140 you distribute. Here, do two rounds of 100. All right, in the second case, do two rounds of 100. Don't do one round. Here you did only one round of 100. Here you did first round of 100 and the second round of 100. You did two rounds of 100. All right, that's a point that you are trying to talk about. All right, here we go. Next one. Here we go. Try doing this. Try doing this. Everybody try doing this. You are in a position now. You don't have to know how to draw Venn diagram for this. It's a maxima minima. This is how the questions come in the exam. They don't expect that you sit and draw the diagram. You don't have to draw any diagram for maximum minimum. This type of model, what I'm talking. And you find them in DIs as well. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm sure most of you have done this, I'm sure. Okay, let's take a look here. All right, let's consolidate whatever we were learning, because there's no point writing every time like that. All right, now let's put it like this to perspective. Totally how many thousand students are there? So how many tokens I have here? 550 students enrolled for, or and all right, now cleared the verbal cutoff. Let me write it like this. Data is this 520 520 V's I have verbal cutoff, right? Then 660 cleared quant cutoff. Therefore, 660 Q's I have. Good. The number of students who cleared the cutoff of GK, or let GK, or let G, let's say GK I have 450. G, alert, that's another variable. Alright, then I have 600 variables of reasoning. 600 variables of reasoning. Add them up, how many tokens you are, or how many variables you have all together, right? So you will realize that, alright, now that is nothing but 2230. Totally you have 2230 variables, alright, or instances. Alright, 2230 variables that you have. Now this you have to allocate under how many students here? 1000 students. What is the first question? Maximum. All these are maximum number of students who have all four coupons. All right, now so if you cleared the cutoff, you will give a verbal coupon. If somebody has cleared the cutoff in quant, assume that you will give them a badge or a token called Q. So you give them G, you give them R. Point is, how many of them have all four badges? All right, how many of them have all four badges? Simple, guys. Right now, so what you will do here, let's do a particular exam. This is what has happened here. So what you do, you will take this 2230, you would take this 2230. Right, yeah. So here there is an important word. Every student cleared at least one cutoff. So therefore, first give one to all the students. You give one. I will explain once. S1, S2, S3, like this S1000. Right now, so you have 2230 badges. First, you give everybody one badge. 1000 badges are gone. Therefore, you are left with 1230 badges. All right, everybody give one first. Everybody give one, because the word is given that at least one should be given. First, you give one. Okay, now everybody has one. Yeah, how many you are left with? 1230. Now, because you want maximum for all four, what you should be doing? Add plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, and likewise keep giving 3 there. Therefore, your answer is 1230 divided by 3, which will become 410. All right, which would become 410. You are trying to say that, okay, I would have given up to student number 410. That fellow would have won. I would have given him 3 more. Therefore, the answer is 410. Simple. All of you are getting this. I'm illustrating also. I'm illustrating this particular fact. But in the exam, you don't have to write this diagram. You don't have to write this diagram. You would have added, you would have subtracted this, the remaining number you would have divided by, and then you would have got the number as 410. Simple. That's it. That much you would have done. All right. Now, this piece of writing you will do. You will not do S1, S2 up to 1000. That's an explanation part, right? Because I need to explain you what I'm thinking. So what is that 1000 I'm subtracting, etc. So that I'm illustrating. But when you are doing in the exam, you don't have to write S1, S2, because nobody appreciates and gives marks for the steps, right? Yeah, okay. Now exactly 3 sections. All right, exactly 3 sections is what? Start giving 2 extra now. So which means still here the problem would have remained same. Why? Because at least one should be given. All right, that is clearly given there. At least one you should give. You don't have a choice. Okay, that's given. So only from here the problem is going to change here. All right, from here the problem is going to change. You divided by 3 and you said that 410 is the answer. Now this time what you will do? You take this 1230 and you will divide by 2. Why divide by 2? You will give 2 more, right? You will give 2 more. All right, you would give 2 more. That's what you do here. All right, you are going to give 2 more there. Okay, therefore you will because 3, because exactly 3 what you want. Exactly 3 means what? You start giving 2 more. One is already given. Start giving another 2 badges. Any 2 badges. Assume that you give verbal. Your choice. You can give quant and GK here. You also give verbal here, but this time you may say that, hey, I will give quant and reasoning for this fellow. Give any combination. Just make them hand over 3 different badges in their hands. That's all the point here, right? Yeah. Therefore, 1230 divided by 2, all right, which will become 615. All right, same 1230 you get, but instead of dividing by 3, this time you will divide by 2, because 2 more you should give. One is already given, 2 more you should give. All right, which becomes 615 here. 615 here. Next question, exactly 2. Author is saying that, hey, why don't you give them exactly 2? Now listen carefully here. You just have to make a plan of action properly. Plan of action should be clear. Exactly 2 means what? First you give them one round of 1 each. First you give them one round of 1 each, and then you give them another round of 1. You give them another round of 1. Good. So how many are done here, my friends? 200 are done. Understand this question very carefully now. So I started off with 2230. 2230. I gave one round of 1000. I gave another round of 1000. At this point in time, everybody has 2. That's the maximum. But the point is, you have extra 230 more, because you started off with 230. You gave one round of 100. You gave another round of 100. You gave this another 230. Now, if you start giving one more, all right, if you start giving one more, 230 of them will get disqualified, because he said exactly 2 are required. Now, if you start giving one more, then they will have 3. Then they will have 3. All right, therefore they disqualified. Therefore, what you will say, hey, what I will do is, to others you will say that, guys, all right, now whoever wants to volunteer, you want more? Yeah, more means you have to take 2 more. You have to take 2 more, because I can give up to 4, because I have 4 different types of badges, V, Q, G and R. Therefore I will give 2 more to you, because you may be having already 2 badges. Assume that V and Q are there. If V and Q are there, I will give you G and R. G and R, because I need to kill these the badges quickly. I have to just give away these badges. If I take time, which means if I give 111, then 230 people will have 3 badges. All right, 3 badges there. The number of people having 2 badges will get reduced. Therefore, what you will do, anybody who wants to volunteer, I will give 2 more. Therefore, 230 divided by 2. That's what you do. 230 divided by 2, 115. So therefore, you will go up to student number 115 here. All right, you will go up to 115, and you will give that fellow 2 more. All right, you give that fellow 2 more. So therefore, if you say that up to 115, they have 2 more. What about remaining 116 onwards? They have exactly 2. All right, they have exactly 2. Others have 4. Therefore, what is the answer that you write? 1000. That is the total number of students, out of which 115 students have 4 badges. 115 students have 4 badges. The remaining ones have exactly 2 badges. I'm just saying that, okay, these are the badges you are given them, where they can stick it to their shirts or skirts or whatever, right? Yeah, 115. All right, therefore you say that, okay, this has become 885. It has become 885. That's your answer, friends. 885 would be the answer for this particular question. Okay, next one, exactly one section. I'm sure all of you have got it, how to do this. Exactly one section, simple, very similar to this. All right, very similar to this. Exactly one section, what you would have done, you would have given one row of 1000. You would have given one row of 1000. So then you would have said that, hey guys, I will please take 3 more, because already as of now that 1000 is the best. All 1000 have one each, but the point is, if I give one more all right now, so then it is not in my favor, because I have to give exactly one. Therefore whoever volunteers, I will start giving 3 more I will give. So how many students? Therefore you will say that 2230 minus 3000, it will become 1. It will become 1230 divided by 3 more. All right, 1230 divided by 3 more, which will become 410. Therefore the required answer is what? Therefore the required answer for this is total, so which means this is 410. Up to 410 students got 3 more. Hey, what about the rest after this 410? 411 onwards, they have exactly one, because other kids have exactly one. Therefore the required answer is 1000 minus 410. All right, 1000 minus 410, all right, which is nothing but 590. That is the answer to the fourth question. Okay, now what I want you to practice is change this word maximum to minimum and answer the same 4 questions. That could be the homework, same one. So what you got to do is, okay, I did the maxima, but I already taught you the concept how to do maxima minima. If you have just understood my previous slides, you would have got the idea behind this. So now just change this word maxima to minima, change it to minima, answer exactly similar for exactly these 4 questions. Right now minima, that could be a nice homework. That would settle you with the maxima minima concept. So once you are clear with this particular concept, a lot of DILR questions built on this concept can be easily handled. I hope all of you got the concept back here. Now this summarizes the basics of the Venn diagrams. The common minimum you should know in the Venn diagram, including maxima minima, I kind of covered it. Naturally, all right, now so there is more time towards the end. Let's see how can we build on this particular study, but this much one should be clear. All right, this much one should be clear. So let's now go to logarithms. Let's go to logarithms. All right, with this understanding, let's now step on to the logarithms. Let's step on to the logarithms. I'll give you 2 minutes break, friends. 2 minutes break so that you guys can unwind. You guys can unwind from the hangover of the set theory. Then we will start afresh on logarithms. Sorry, this 2 minutes is because it's not a continuation. Just unwind with that activity. Probably you may need a couple of minutes to unwind. Take 2 minutes, unwind, and then we will start with logarithms. We may need about another 60 minutes to understand a couple of things and do some examples. We'll spend about 60-70 minutes on this. So lecture will get over from 60 minutes from now. Take 2 minutes break before that. Well, guys, here we go. Let's get started. Let's do the logarithms. Again, one of the very simple chapters. You have a couple of working rules here. We call them as law of logarithms. Some basics on the law of logarithms are known, then it is very easy to tackle the logarithms. Of course, there may be at times very critical questions. That's at times. Otherwise, as much as I have seen, they're going to be really, really very functional and very elementary kind of questions on logarithms are asked. And every exam will definitely have one or two questions on logarithms. It's important. It's good to know the logarithms, no doubt about it. Right? The primary function is because even when you get onto the work, with various firms, so if you want to find the value of the power, you need to know the meaning of the logarithm, without which you will not be able to find, all right, you won't be able to find the values of the powers. All right, therefore you should know at least some basic part of the logarithm there. I'll tell you what I meant. I'll tell you what I meant. Say for example, if I write, let's say it's a 2 power, say 2 power 5, or 2 power 6, let us take 2 power 6 is 64, correct, right? And then I will say 2 power 7 is 128. If I say that 2 power x is equal to 100, what is this x? If I ask you that, hey, therefore 2 power x is 100, what is x here? What is x here? Unless you know the logarithm, you will not be able to find this, because I know that x value is going to be 6 point something. Well, it's 6 point a. What is that a there for? One decimal place accuracy or two decimal place accuracy, whatever be it in the financial institutions, like how many years, all that compounding, all that formulas, right? So you'll generally able to how many days or how many weeks the share is going to increase, decrease, whatever is that right now. So for that analysis, you need to know that particular power function, because the most of the things in nature are compounding these days. Compounding means there is an issue of power, right? There is going to be an issue of power. Therefore, you write 6.1. Hey, why 6.8? Well, let know here, because there is a 6. 2 power 6 is 64. 2 power 7 is 128. Now I'm stuck in between here. 100 lies between these two numbers. Therefore, the x also lies between these two numbers. But what is that? What is that to one decimal place accuracy or two decimal place accuracy? You need logarithm for it, right? Now that's a point there. That's one of the point. Sometimes you want to understand the magnitude of the number, because you may not know what is that particular number. For example, if I say 625 raised to power 25, yeah, how many digits are there in this particular number? Because we don't know what is this number. That's very difficult to understand. But can I at least understand how many digits are there? How many digit value is this? Something like that. Okay, for some purpose. So how many digits are there? Well, a number of digits are 70 digits. This particular number is 70 digits. How do you understand that there are 70 digits in this number? Through logarithm, you will be able to do it very easily. Right? Very easily you will be able to understand through that. So now therefore there are some functionalities associated with logarithm. Now who uses it? Because already now thousands of people do the MBA every year. Who uses it at what instance, they don't know. Therefore already now knowing basics is essential for all of us, so that already now when we want in the work environment, will not be very far from there. All right, that's the whole idea there. That's little bit about the importance of logarithms. Therefore, they generally make sure that there are one or two questions asked on logarithms. One or two questions are asked on logarithms. That's one. All right, therefore, let's start with what is the definition. Let's understand what's the limitation. Of course, logarithms have the limitations. Let's understand this. All right, let's understand those 2 points. And then let's also understand usage. I already told you what is the usage. I told you one is to find the power, one is to find the number of digits, one is to find the value of the power, one is to find the number of digits. These are the two primary. I'm not limiting that these are the only two uses. These are the two most practical applications. Then we'll quickly look at what are the laws of logarithms. Then we'll get on to the application. Simple agenda. All right, let's carry on. Let's carry on with this. Let's understand here. Let's carry on with this agenda. Let's see it here. So definition here. It's a definition here. This is my handwritten note somewhere. So I just copied and pasted out here, because the typing takes little more time. Therefore, I found a quick solution to this, saying that okay, I just write it and put it out here there for your quicker understanding. Okay, here it goes. All right, now so how does it look like? This is an exponential function, my friends. This is an exponential function. What I'm trying to say here is exponents are connected with logarithms. Opposites, exponents or logarithms are kind of connected. So we all understand a power y is equal to x is what? Exponent. What is the base of this number here? Exponent. What is the base? A is called as base. A is called as base here. All right, now base, y is called as the index. Right now, y is nothing but the index. Right? Y is the power or index, whatever you call this. All the x is the output here. Y is called as the power or index, whatever you call this. Correct, index or whatever you call it. Now, but what is a here? Base. Now remember here, the same information can be written. It's precisely the same information A power y is equal to x given this. If you want to find y, I told you logarithm is to find the power only, because a will be known and x will be known. What will not be known is y will not be known because the power is unknown. I want logarithm. If a is the unknown, why do I need logarithm? If x is unknown here, if x is unknown here, I don't need logarithm. Because y is unknown, I need the logarithm. That's a primary understanding. I already told you about this, right? Yeah, y is unknown. Y is the question mark. Y is unknown. Therefore, how do you write it? Y is equal to, we should learn to write this. Now, this is the subject. This is a theory, friends. This is theory. I can't explain much beyond this. We should know the transformation. A power y is equal to x. How do I find y? Therefore, y is equal to log x to the base a. Therefore, y is equal to log x to the base a. We can write it like this. Y is equal to log x to the base a. One way to remember is base is base. Let's just remember this. Base is base. Just remember this information. Base is base. You didn't understand what is base is base. A is base here. A is base here and A is base here. A is also base here. Base is base no matter what. Right now, therefore, this has to be very, very clear. This is the very, very basics of logarithms, which means how exponents are connected with logarithms. In an exponential function, if the power is the variable, that is when you use the logarithms to find the value of that power. What was variable here? Y was the variable. Therefore, how do you tackle that y? You tackle it like this. So just remember this word. If you want to write it easily, transformation is easy, provided you remember base is base. There are a couple of limitations. I told you logarithms has the limitation. What are the limitations on logarithm? X has to be positive. All right, now here that's x, the input to the logarithm, this x, the input to the logarithm has to be positive. It does not understand the zeros and negatives. Therefore, the input has to be positive, number one. Second one, all right, now here a also has to be positive. X should be positive and a also should be positive. A also should be positive, right? Now, A also cannot be negative. A also should be positive. Now, in all the positives, it can also take one value called as 1. It cannot take 1 because on the number line, when I say positive, it's greater than 0, right? You are trying to say that A is greater than 0. But the point is A is greater than 0 is fine. A is greater than 0 is fine, but A cannot be equal to 1. I want to keep that in mind. X positive and A is also positive. That's a point with logarithm. Two things, X positive and A positive. Somewhere people forget this A also being positive. They remember X positive. Somewhere they take that A for granted. Don't take it for granted. X is also positive and A is also positive. But X can take 1, but A cannot take 1. That's it. A is positive but not 1. All right, A is positive but not 1. Now these are the limitations. Okay. Now how does this limitations will understand here? Two cases. Therefore, A can be split. X is positive, only one single area, but A positive. Therefore, A lying between 0 and 1 on the number line. You have a number line here, friends, 0 and 1. All right, and then now 2, 3, 4, whatever. This is the number line. So for all the values of X lying between 0 and 1, because 1 it cannot take, 0 it cannot take. A cannot take the values between 0 and 1. For all the values of A lying between 0 and 1, this is how the graph looks. This is how the graph looks. Say where it cuts the x-axis, 1, 0. Will it ever touch the y-axis? No, it will not touch the y-axis. It will be always positive. Right, therefore 1 comma 0. Fine. Similarly, what if A is beyond this? What if A is beyond 1 here? What if A goes beyond 1? Because anyway it can't be 1. What if it goes beyond 1? A takes these kind of values. Then the graph would go in this fashion. All right, that's about the graph. Anyway, we'll study more about this in the graph. Just remember two things for now. Say that X is positive and A is positive and A is not 1. And remember another part here, base is base. Now see, these base is base, these kind of words would have been taught to you by your high school teachers. They have asked you to remember this. All right, now teacher will tell first base is base, then you will repeat after the teacher. The reason being what? It will get into your subconscious when you are studying the logarithms. Base is one of the keywords there, right? Keywords there, right? And X and A should be positive. X and A should be positive is another keyword there. Now these are the three keywords out there, right? Yeah, these are the three keywords out there. All right, guys, let's go further. Let's go further. These are the must know factors here. So all right, anyway, the first one is taken care. First is taken care because you can't supply a negative, becomes undefined. Can I supply a 0 here? No, but that also becomes undefined. So we already talked about it. Hey, what about 1? What about 1? Right, because we said that A cannot be 1, but can X be 1 here? Because this is the structure for our logarithm, right? Log X to the base A, that's the structure. We already said that A cannot be 1. Okay, but X can be 1. But if I give X is equal to 1, what do I get? The output becomes 0. output therefore becomes 0. If you put x is equal to 1 and a is any positive and real other than 1, it becomes 0. This is one result we should remember. See, all the must know factors are what? Remember, log a to the base a. What if the value of x becomes a? Right now log a to the base a becomes how much? 1. Log a to the base a becomes 1. These are the must know factors. All right, there is no compromise on this. These are the must know factors from your high school. Must know factors from your high school. Just like if I draw a right angle triangle and ask you the Pythagorean theorem, a, this is a and b. All right, therefore c, what is the relationship? C is equal to under root of a square plus b square. It's a must know thing. It's a must know thing. There is no choice in that matter from the high school. All right, yeah, let's go here. When base is not mentioned, all right, when base is not mentioned, it is meant to be 10. So in the sense, okay, if I write y is equal to log x, if I simply write y is equal to log x, I did not mention the base here. I did not write anything out here. I wrote a blank. All right, I wrote a blank. Hey, what is that particular blank? What does it mean? This becomes log x to the base 10. If nothing is mentioned, it means 10. All right, when it is 10, we take it for granted and we don't write anything out there. That's about point number 5. These are all must know factors. And sometimes while reading, probably in the exam, they might not use these words, common log and natural log. But when you are reading, when you are going through some material, etc., here and there, you may come across them. Hey, what do you mean by common log? Common log means basis 10. Common log is basis 10. Natural log means basis e. So otherwise what? It is neither common log not natural nor natural log, which means you can have something like this also, right? Log x to the base 5. What is this? Is this a common log or a natural log? Nothing. It is neither a common log nor a natural log. Okay, y is equal to log x to the base 10. It has become a common log. Y is equal to log x to the base e. All right, that has become a natural log. Okay, what is e here? All right, e is nothing but 2.718 Napier's constant. All right, this is Napier's constant, right? We all know that. All right, this is nothing but Napier's constant, Napier's base or Napier's constant, which is also nothing but all right, which is also an irrational number. E is an irrational number. I told you in one of my lectures. So there are two irrational numbers, two symbols, pi and e are irrational. Pi and e are irrational. E is one of those irrational numbers whose approximate value, not exactly, right? Now it's an approximate value of e is 2.718. Good. Now these are the hygiene factors, friend. These 5 things: the natural log, common log. Now these are the hygiene factors, must know things. Let's go to the law of logarithms. Once we finish law of logarithms, we'll go to examples. Right, let's spend quickly some time out there just to understand the laws of logarithms. All right, now there are names. You can give the names. Probably your teacher might have given different names there, but I call it as a product rule. I call it as a product rule. The first one I call it as a product rule. If your teachers have taught in a different way, it doesn't matter. Try and recall the rule in their own language, whichever the way that is ingrained in your mind. Don't try to be a conflict. Should I call it as a product rule only? That really does not matter. These are the laws of logarithms. To store the information, you would have given some name. Your teachers would have given some name, or the books that you have read would have given some name. Just try and check all it which way you remember. But remembering is important. Which way you remember does not matter. But do you remember is the question mark here. Okay, first one, product rule. What is the product rule here? If I have log, let log 10 to the base a into b. If I have log 10 to the base a into b, this can be written as log a to the base 10 plus log b to the base 10. That's called as a product rule. These are product. There is a product x1 into x2. That can be written as log x1 to the base a, log x2 to the base a, which means if I have log a into b to the base 10, I can write it as log a to the base 10 and plus solid. Now it becomes plus log b to the base 10. It can be written like this. That is called as the product rule. Okay, quotient rule. Quotient rule means already if I have log 10 to the log a by b to the base 10, this can be written as log a to the base 10 minus log a to the base 10 minus log b to the base 10. That's called as the quotient rule. Quotient. It is a quotient. Or it is called as the quotient rule. Okay, if there's a different name that you have given, don't bother. Try and recall what name you have given. That's a quotient rule, right? Okay, power rule. Power rule. What is power rule here? Log, if I have 2 raised to power 5, and here if I have 10 raised to power 3, let's say, let me write one at a time. 10. This can also be written as 5 log 2 to the base 10. This 5 can be brought forward here, right? That can be written as 5 times of log 2 to the base 10. That's called as the power rule. That's called as the power rule. You can put it back also. Hey, can I put it back here? Yeah, you can put it back. It's flexible. That's what I mean to say. That's flexible. You can put it down. So that's a rule, because of that particular rule, you can put that 5 wherever you like. Right? Therefore, that's a power rule. Hey, what if now here if I have log 2 10 to the base 3. 10 to the base 3. Now here what is the power there? 1. Therefore, you can write this as 1 by 3. This one, friends, this 1 and this 3. 1 by 3, all right, then log 2 to the base 10. This can be written like this. This can be written as 1 by 3. Now, this is the function of the power rule. That's a function of the power rule, right? So, all of you understood 3 rules. There are only 6 rules here, friends. There are only 6 rules here. Another 3 rules. The next one is the inverse rule. Simple one, inverse rule. Everybody, simple one. So, log, if I have 2 to the base 10, inverse rule is I can also write this as inverse it 1 divided by log 10 to the base 2. When you write it inverse, already when you write it upside down, what is that? Log 2 to the base 10 by 1. That was there here. So, inverse, already you wrote it upside down. If you write it upside down, but if you want it to be still equal, change these two fellows. Right now, change the position of the base and the number. Change that. Change the input and the base. Change both of them. Let's change them here. All right, now that's when you can write it as the inverse. Right. The next one, the base change rule. The second part is very, very important. All right, the second part is important in the base change rule. In the sense, if I have log 5 to the base 2, I can write this as log 5 to the base 10. Log 5 to the base 10 divided by log 2 to the base 10. I use the same numbers here. There is 5 here. There is 2 here. I used 5 and 2. I changed the base to 10. I change the base to 10. That is called as the base change rule. I change the base. That's another important thing, right? That's a base change rule. Okay, lastly, all it interchange rule. All it interchange rule. Now, what is this interchange rule? All if you have, or if let's say if you have 2 log 5 to the base 3. If you have something like this, let's say 2 log 5 to the base 3, you can interchange these two without the value getting affected. Without the value getting affected, you can interchange these two. This can also be equal to friends. It's also equal to 5 log 2 to the base 3. All right, it's an interchange rule. This is what you mean by the interchange rule, right? Yeah. So now these are the these are the 6 elements. But here, yeah, what if I have, all right, what if I have, all right, now, so here in case, all right, now, so specific case of this becomes a specific case here. If I have 2 log, if I have 2 log 2 to the base 10, if I have 2 log to the base 10, all right, this will become 2. This would become 2 itself. All right, now 2 log, all right, sorry, 2 log 2 log 5 to the base 2. If you have 2 log 5 to the base 2, this would become, all right, this would be, all right, then this would become 5 itself. All right, this 5, it would become 5 itself. You may wonder how, because we know that there is an interchange rule. All right, you interchange these two fellows. You interchange these two fellows. If I interchange and write, I could bring this 5 down, and then I'll be writing log 2 to the base 2. But we know that log 2 to the base 2 is 1. Therefore, this become 5 power 1, which is nothing but 5. Right, that's one specific instance. Probably you may have to keep it in mind. That's one specific instance you may have to keep it in mind. I think that kind of comprises, covers all the rules that we have done. Slowly, gradually do some of the examples with me as we go along. Right, yeah. So I probably want you to remember from the exam perspective for now. All right, now this is your exam perspective. I want you to remember the values of log 2, log 3 and log 7. Sometimes even if it is not given, if you know it, you can do it faster. Some of the approximations you can do it faster. Log 5 is your choice, because log 5 can be done, if there is a log 5, that can be done as log 10 divided by log 5 can be done as log 5 by 2 to the log 5 by 2 to the base 10. All right, log 5 by 2 to the base 10, that can be written as log 10 to the base 10. All right, 10 minus log 2 to the base 10. That's how you can write. So you already know the log 10 to the base 10 is 1 minus, you know, log 2 to the base 10. You'll know that value. Therefore, you can quickly convert this. That should not be a problem. But if you can remember, please remember, these are the first three are important. Those values first two are very, very important in that order, followed by 7, then followed by the third one, followed by the fourth one. Try and make an effort to remember these values, which would definitely help you to do the questions a little faster and better. What about this? Don't worry, I will come to this in a practical sense. Well, don't bother too much about it. I will come with a practical sense. How do we tackle that particular portion? Right, okay, here we go with the examples. Everybody got the inputs that is required for the logarithms. Next 40 minutes or so, we'll try and do as many examples that we could cover. All right, we'll try and cover the examples. Yeah. Okay, let's do a couple of warm-ups with me. Couple of questions. All right, now do a couple of warm-ups with me. Take a look at this particular question. Let's take a look at this question here. So what rule do I apply? I will look at these two things. I will look at these two fellows, and then I will first apply the quotient rule. Therefore, I would call this as log x divided by root x to the base 10. Interchangeable way. I can apply the quotient rule. If you ask that, if you say, we talked about the product rule, we talked about the quotient rule. What rule did I apply here, friends? Quotient rule. We learned something like this. Log x1, x2, log x1 by x2 log x1 by x2 to the base a can also be written as log x1 to the base a minus log x2 to base a. Now the given information is like this. I wrote it like this, which means the rule is applicable either way. So it's a two-way rule, something all right. Now, so whichever form, whichever way you want to write it, it's a two-way rule. Okay, now this is also equal to, I am retaining this as it is, which is 2 log 10 to the base x. Let's simplify this. X divided by root x is nothing but log root x to the base 10, because x is nothing but root x into root x, right? Therefore, one root x get cancelled. So therefore, log root x to the base 10 already is also equal to 2 log 10 to the base x. Hey, what is root x, my friends? Let root x is nothing but x raised to power 1 by 2. X raised to power 1 by 2. Therefore, let me remove this root x here. Let me remove this root x. Let me write it as x raised to power 1 by 2. Right, that is root x only, x raised to power 1 by 2. Now what I do here, get this 1 by 2 down. We said that what is that rule I'm using now? Power rule. All right, by using the power rule, I can write 1 by 2 times of log x to the base 10 is also equal to 2 log 10 to the base x. Good. Now shift this 2 to the other side, multiply both sides by 2, multiply both sides by 2, or shift it to the other side. Simple math. Therefore, you would say that log x to the base 10 is nothing but 4 times of log 10 to the base x. Now apply inverse rule on this particular box. You may wonder why apply inverse rule. Very, very important. Always makes the bases equal. Only when you make the bases equal, life is beautiful, right? Life is going to be beautiful. Make the bases equal. Therefore, apply the inverse rule. Okay, I'm writing that step here. Log x to the base 10 is also equal to 4 divided by log x to the base 10. Right here, log x to the base 10 interchange. That's what you mean by the that's what you mean by the inverse rule. When you inverse it, it becomes like this. Now cross multiply, bring it here. It becomes log x to the base 10 whole square is equal to 4. Alright, it is something like you reached a situation a square is equal to 4. If a square is equal to 4, what is a, friends? Plus or minus 2. Don't write a is equal to 2. Wrong. Alright, if a square is equal to 4, if you write a is equal to 2, it is wrong. You must be writing it as plus or minus 2 here. So therefore, you will say that, okay, log x to the base 10 is equal to 2, or log x to the base 10 is also equal to minus 2. Why? Because log x to the base 10 is plus or minus 2. So two cases, you will take two cases. Either it could have been plus 2 because you took the square root on both the sides, either, or it could have become minus 2. Okay, now take anti-logarithm. When you take anti-logarithm, base is base. That's what I told you here. Therefore, x is equal to, you're taking anti-logarithm, friends. This 10 will go and become a base for this number, 10 raised to power 2. This is what you mean by anti-logarithm. Anti-logarithm means what? Log will go out. If the log goes out, what happens to this 10? Because this base has no role to play here. But this base is a base, but it becomes a base for what? It becomes a base for another number. That's the meaning of taking anti-logarithm, right? Anti-logarithm is that. Anti-logarithm means what? I don't want to see this word log. If you don't want to see this word log, then base has no business here. So this base 10 has no business. Then where the 10 should go? But base is base. That's what I told you. Base is base. If base is not for x, or base is not for log, then base will go here. It will shift there to the other side. Therefore, x power 10. Therefore, x is equal to 100. That is one value. Right? X is equal to 100 is one value. Do the same thing here, friends. Take anti-logarithm here also. Anti-logarithm means what? I don't want this. If you don't want this, then what is the fate of this base? Well, this base would shift here. That base would shift here. Therefore, you would say that x is equal to 10 raised to power minus 1 minus 2. That is nothing but 1 divided by 100. Alright, now therefore two values of x. Either x can be 100 or x can be 1 by 100. 1 by 100 are nothing but 0.01. Either ways. These are the two values x can take. That's what author asks. Find the number of solutions for x. Answer is how much? 2. There are two solutions for x. I told you already now which are the two answers as well. One of the values is 100. The other value is 0.01. 0.01. Simple question. All right, for all of you, it's a pretty simple question. So all right, you need to know just that hygiene factors and those 6 rules in place, and then you have to apply them mindfully. That's it. With little practice, because there are only 6 rules here, I'm sure with little practice everybody can get hang of logarithms. You just need very little practice because there are only 6 rules out here. So if you look at it, all right, now first, what rule did you apply? All right, now say in this particular question, all right, here, all right, between these two you applied the quotient rule. Already you applied the quotient rule, you applied quotient rule, and then on this particular box, what is the rule that you apply on this box? Already you applied the inverse rule, already you applied the inverse rule. done, over. Once you applied these two rules, rest problem is a fairly straightforward. Of course, I wrote little more because I wrote every single step very meticulously and carefully so that you kind of follow the discussion. But if you are doing it for yourself, you don't have to write as much as I am writing. You don't have to fill that board with all the variables and numbers. You write as minimum because you can process a lot of information in your mind, right? A lot of information you can process in your mind. So, but when I'm writing, I have to express, therefore it looks like, hey, isn't it filling the board? Isn't it too much of writing for this particular question? Yeah, that's only while explaining. But when you are writing, trust me, this happens in a minute's time. Or more than a minute is a criminal waste of time. It should take just a minute after practice, not immediately. Once you practice, it's just a matter of a minute. All right, it's just a matter of a minute. Great. All right, all of you got this intent. Let's go further. Let's go further. Let's take another look here. All right, let's take another look of this particular question. Let's take a look at this question. Okay, let's try this. Log x minus 1 to the base 2 is also nothing but this. Okay, here. So now base is a very important thing. I already made this point in the last question. I said that, hey, try and match the bases. Well, if the bases are matched, your half job is done in logarithms. Very, very important thing in logarithm is base. All right, now a lot of people give importance to input. Sure, I'm not denying that input is not important. Input is important. In what sense? Input is important in a sense that input should be positive. Good. All right, that's fine. But what is more important? All right, what is also important to merge the information? The base is important. Base should be equal. If the bases are equal, you can apply all possible rules. You can apply the quotient rule. You can apply the, all right, you can apply the product rule. So therefore, thereby it allows you to apply some rules freely. That's the whole idea there. All right, yeah. So therefore, make the bases equal. How do you write it? Let me tackle this portion. Let me tackle this portion. I will write this as log 2 to the power 2 log x minus 1 to the base 2 to the power 2 is also equal to log x minus 3 to the base 2. Now what I'll apply? I apply the quotient. Now I apply the power rule. There is a power 1 here and there is a power 2 here. Thereby I can write this as 1 by 2 times of log x minus 1 to the base 2 is also log x minus 3 to the base 2. I'm not making any changes on the right hand side, only left hand side. Good. So now what do? I will transfer it here first. I will transfer this to here. So therefore it becomes log x minus 1 to the base 2 is also equal to 2 times of log x minus 3 to the base 2. Now what I'll also do is I will apply the power rule and then I will shift it here. I will shift this 2 here in the next step. That is log x minus 1 to the base 2 is also equal to log x minus 3 whole square to the base. X minus 3 whole square to the base 2. Now both are log functions. LHS is equal to RHS because my bases are same. Hey, there is a base 2 here, there is a base 2 here, then the input should be same. This input, therefore this input should be equal to this input. Otherwise how the outputs are same? Because you have written the equation equal here, which means both inputs are same because bases are same. Because the bases are same, then the input should be same. So therefore you would say that, okay man, this question now boils down to x minus 1 is also equal to x minus 3 whole square. Anybody can solve from here, isn't it? Anybody can solve from here. Therefore x minus 1 is also equal to x square minus 6x plus 9. So from here it would become x square minus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0. From here you will get the values of x as, all at 5 2 times is 10. Therefore x is equal to 5 or x is equal to 2. You got two values. X is equal to 5 or x is equal to 2. You got two values. He said that find the number of solutions. All right, very popular answer could be 2 solutions because I got x is equal to 2 or to 5 or 2. Don't do that mistake. You should always do the domain check in algebra. You would have learned that, okay, I got to do certain amount of domain check in algebra. So come back. All right, now put x is equal to 2. First x is equal to 5 here. Put x is equal to 5. Domain check. If I put x is equal to 5, is this positive? X minus 3 positive? Yes. When I put x is equal to 5, I'll let 5 minus 1. Is that positive? Yes, because we said that the input to the logarithm should be positive. It is not x the input. X minus 3 is the input. Fine. Is that positive when I write x is equal to 5? Yes. And therefore you say that domain check clear. Therefore this is clear. X is equal to 5. Put the second one here, friends. Check this case. X is equal to 2. You said that x is equal to 2. Let me put x is equal to 2 here. 2 minus 3 has become what? Minus 1. Hey, how did you give the negative number as the input? Therefore x is equal to 2. Failed the domain check. Because it failed the domain check, you will say that answer is 1. There is only one value x can take to satisfy this particular equation. All right, yeah, never forget the domain check. Always do the domain check. Because if x itself is the variable, this is a different thing. But x minus 3 is the input, x minus 1 is the input. When the input is not x, it is x minus something, x plus something. Just be wary of checking the domain in that case. All right, in that case. Okay, all of you may be getting the point here. Pretty simple way I'm applying certain rules here. What did I apply here? The power rule. Right now I applied the power rule. I looked at this particular 4. I said that let me apply the power rule here. Right, once I applied the power rule, rest of the question was straightforward. There was hardly anything to be done. Again, I applied the power rule here. Here also I applied power rule. Technically only one rule that I used in this question, that is the power rule. Rest was simple algebra. Became a quadratic equation to solve, and then domain check. That is also an algebra. So we all know that we have to do domain check in algebra, right? So these are all very powerful words. Domain check, etc. are very powerful thoughts in algebra. So which we are doing. Great. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Another 30 minutes, friends. Another 30 minutes. Let's push ourselves because we started a little late because of some technical issue. Here we go. Find x. Find the value of x. I'll give a minute for you. Reflect on this thought. Reflect on this thought. Yeah. Okay. So here we talked about interchange rule. I said that okay, so interchange rule you apply, either keep x up or x down. Look at this. This is a number. Here is a number. No number. So therefore, what I can do, apply the interchange rule first. See, all these reflex actions comes by practice. All right, if some of you are thinking that, hey, how do you get this thought? You will get it by practice. Don't worry. There is no rocket science in this. Therefore, that's what the thoughts I'm planting in your mind, right? Therefore, these things come just by practice. It's long time back. If you have done the logarithm, trust me, no. All right, but then like in the high school, all right, some questions like this, you would have done it all right, like a cake or a piece of cake. So the reason being, you are in the form. Are you in form or are you in out of form? That matters in any skill. That matters. That skill may be there, but if you are out of form, then all it now things look all it now very all it now very critical. If you're in the form, everything looks all it now easy to handle, right? Therefore, it's a matter of being in form or being out of form. All right. Therefore, don't hype it just in case you are not getting the thought what I'm saying. Therefore, I'm planting those thoughts. I'm telling clearly to you. Therefore, all it now say, look at this. There is a number here. There is a number here. Bring a number here. How do I bring a number here? All right. Use the inverse rule, interchange rule. Rule number 6 was their interchange rule. This can also be written as 8 log x to the base 10. Already we thought about this, right? Isn't it? We already thought about this. So this is 128 as it is. This one as it is x 8 log x to the base 10. That's what we would have written. Fine. So therefore, what you have here, two things. All right, now this is same as this. So bring this on this particular side. When you bring it, it becomes what, my friends? 2 times of 8 log, all right, 2 times of 8 log x to the base 10 is also equal to 128. Simple math. All of this is 2 times, this is 64 times. Hey, what is 64, friends? 8 square. So therefore this 8 is same, the base is same, therefore the power should be equal. Now look at this 8 and this 8 are same, therefore the rest of the matter should match. This should be equal to 2. What do you mean? Log x to the base 10 is equal to 2, but author is interested in x. Take anti-logarithm now. Take anti-logarithm means what? This log should go, then base is base. If this is not the base here, it becomes the base here. Therefore, x is equal to 10 raised to power 2, which is 100. Well, that is the value of x. If you ask what is the value of x here, the value of x was 100. For that particular value, this equation is true. All right, for that value, this equation is true. Pretty simple one. All right, now what is that one rule we applied here? The interchange rule. All right, we applied the interchange rule here, right? Pretty simple one. Simple one. I'm just illustrating one rule at a time so that you kind of get hang of these particular rules. As simple as that, right? As simple as that. Good. All right, let's do this now. Let's do this question here. Let's do this question. Right, do it with me. Do it with me. It is the subset of the interchange rule. Let's subset of the interchange rule. What is the output here, friends? The output here is 3 minus x. The output here is 3 minus x. We said that, okay, I can interchange these two. The moment I interchange these two, this 10 will go sit here. This 3 minus x will sit here. Therefore, log 10 to the base 10 becomes 1. All right, now thereby it becomes 3 minus x. This side as it is. This is the rule. All right, this is the rule number 6. Because of rule number 6, you can directly write it as 3 minus x. All right, you can write it as 3 minus x. You just have to remember those rules. Otherwise, it's difficult. All right, you will be looking at the question. If the rules are not very clear in your mind, then you don't know what to apply. There are only 6 rules. You can look at the question and check that which of the 6 rules is applicable. Where should I start this problem? It's as simple as that, right? It is as simple as that. Okay, so therefore already would say that log 9 minus 2 power x to the base 2. This is what you would have written, which is equal to this. Okay, take anti-logarithm here. Let's take anti-logarithm. Take anti-logarithm, then this 2 becomes the base here. Therefore, 9 minus 2 raised to power x is equal to 2 raised to power 3 minus x. 2 raised to power 3 minus x. Fairly. What is 2 raised to power 3 minus x? 2 power 3 divided by 2 power x. That is the meaning of 2 raised to power 3 minus x. Correct. Therefore, 9 minus 2 raised to power x. Good. All right. Now, this is what you got it here. Right. That is what you got it there. Now, what do you do here? Right. From here, all it just cross multiply. This cross multiply. It will become 2 raised to power x times of 9 minus 2 raised to power x is equal to 8. Now what you can do is, this is a put type. You can always put whenever things get, I told you this in the previous class, I guess, one of the classes. Whenever things get a little complicated, put 2 power x is equal to, put 2 power x is equal to 2 power x is equal to y, something like that. Put 2 power x is equal to y. So therefore I can put y here. Here I'm writing y here. This is y. 9 minus y is equal to 8. It's a quadratic. Now it has become a quadratic. What it has become, my friend? Y square minus 9y plus 8 is equal to 0. From here you get the roots here. Y is equal to 8 or y is equal to 1. You got the roots. Okay. Substitute back. What is y here? What is y here? 2 raised to power x. 2 raised to power x is equal to 1. So what is that here? Therefore 2 raised to power x is equal to 2 raised to power 3. Therefore x is equal to 3. Simple. That is 1. All right. So second one, y. What is y here? Y is nothing but, what is y here? 2 raised to power x. 2 raised to power x is equal to 1. What does it mean? 2 raised to power x is equal to 2 raised to power 0. That is the only way to get 1 here. 2 raised to power 0. And therefore what is x here? X is equal to 0. X is equal to 0. Do the domain check. All it will both the values satisfy. So where I have to do the domain check here? All it now get 3 here. Put x is equal to 3 here. Already you are saying that x is equal to 3. Is there case 1? What is case 1? X is equal to 3. Put x is equal to 3 and check 0. Hey, how can you give a 0 for a logarithm? Therefore case 1 is ruled out. Case 1 is ruled out. But can I put x is equal to 0 here? Yeah, because this becomes 3. Can I put x is equal to 0? Yeah, that's fine. All right, therefore you say that the value of x is 0. He said that, why don't you find the value of x? Don't forget the domain check, right? Don't forget the domain check. Pretty simple question. You just use the base interchange rule. You got this particular value. This put is a very important method in algebra. Whenever things look cumbersome, just like, all right, it started looking cumbersome at this stage. It started looking cumbersome. What is this 2 power x coming there? But if it is not looking cumbersome, for your eyes it is beautiful. You are very good in algebra. Things look beautiful. Don't write put 2 power x is equal to y. But if it's not pleasant to your eyes, put it 2 power x is equal to y and continue with that thought. Right, continue with that and then come back and resubstitute. You got the values of y. Once you got the values of y, come back, resubstitute them, resubstitute and finish the deal. No issues. But don't forget the domain check at the end. Okay, let's proceed. Let's proceed. Last 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes. Let's proceed. Let's not waste time. Let's not waste time. Right now here, what kind of values he's expecting? He's expecting integral values, integers. How many values you think integers or x can take as an integer value, so that this inequality is true? This inequality is true. I will talk more about inequality. For the time being, even before you write that inequality, all right, what you do is just put an equal to sign there. Say something like this. All right, now number 1, you may say that log x plus 3 to the base 2 is equal to 3. Simplify this. In your mind, you simplify this. Take anti-logarithm. If you take anti-logarithm, base is base. Therefore, x plus 3 is equal to 2 power 3. That is 8. Therefore, x is equal to 5. 8 minus 3, x is equal to 5. But it's not equal to, it is less than. Fine. Then you put s less than finally. Finally, come back and put that less than. X is less than 5. because you, for solving purpose, you took equal to in your mind, otherwise the feeling was not great. Then come back and put the same thing there, x is less than 5. Good, that's one point. Look at the second thing also, my friends. Here, look at the second point out here. The input to the logarithm has to be positive. Input to the logarithm has to be positive. What do you mean? X plus 3 should be greater than 0. It can't be equal to 0. It must be positive, greater than 0. Therefore, therefore x should be greater than minus 3. Two conditions: x should be greater than minus 3, but x should be less than 5. How do you put it on the number line? So assume that there is a minus 3 here, minus 2 here, minus 1, and then I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say this is the number line here. So what is that you are trying to say here? X should be less than 5, not 5. Less than 5 means what? This side. X should be less than 5 is this particular side. All of this up to where? Up to infinity. But x should be greater than minus 3. Therefore, I have to stop here. Therefore, this is the range of values that it can take. X should be greater than minus 3. Greater than minus 3 means this side. X should be less than 5 is what? This side. Now, therefore, what are the integers that are squeezed here? Minus 2 is fine. Minus 1 is fine. 0 is fine. Therefore, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Therefore, how many? Question is find the number of integral values. Answer 7. It can take 7 integral values to satisfy this inequality. 7 values, that is minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 7 values. Minus 3 and 5 are not considered. They are not considered. They are the boundaries. Alright, it is not including the boundaries. So exclude those boundaries. Right now, therefore, it has 7 values. Alright, it has 7 values. That's the answer to this question. Simple one. Alright, whenever there is an inequality, all you do is take it as an equal to sign and complete that particular deal. Complete that deal. Okay, let's go to the next one here. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. This is thoroughly about the anti-logarithm. All right, this thoroughly about the anti-logarithm. So now something is given where x is positive. Author said that x is positive. Why don't you find the value of x? Sure, I'll find the value of x. So first take the anti-logarithm on this. Remove this anti-logarithm. If first logarithm, see there are so many logarithms. First, already outermost bracket should be knocked out. I knocked out this bracket. But there is a base called 5. What happens to this 5? It comes and sits here. It becomes 5 power 0. What I'm trying to say, my friends, I'm trying to say that now log 4 here. I'm here. Log to the base 4. Log to the base 3 times of all this stuff. Right here, 11x plus 1 is equal to 5 power 0. This 5 has come all the way, become a base. Base is base. What is 5 power 0, guys? That's 1. That's 1. Good. Okay, now take another anti-logarithm. You take anti-logarithm on this. Then what happens to this particular 4? This becomes a base here. So therefore, what you are trying to write from here, you will copy. Therefore, you would say that log x square minus 11x plus 1 to the base 3 should be equal to 4 power 1. 4 power 1 is nothing but 4. All right, no, that's nothing but 4. All right. So then what happens? All right, the next one, another anti-logarithm. If you take then this base is base. Therefore, that base sits here. Therefore, you are saying x square minus 11x plus 1 is equal to 3 raised to power 4. What is 3 raised to power 4? 81. So therefore, you are saying that x square minus 11x plus 1 is equal to 81. Right, thereby you will say that x square minus 11x, all right, plus 80, all right, minus 80, all right, minus 80 is equal to 0. Minus 80 is equal to 0. Right, yeah. So then all right, now from here you can find the roots. One root is positive, one root is negative. All right, thereby you will get the answer. What is that? 16 and 5, right? 16 and 5. Therefore, x is equal to 16 and x is equal to minus 5. All right, x is equal to 16 and x is equal to minus 5. You get two roots there. One of them is 16, one of them is 5. All right, and then he says that x is positive. Author is very clear. He said that, hey, why don't you take the x value positive? Discard this. Therefore, find the value of x. X value has become 16. All right, x value has become 16. I hope everybody is enjoying this. What we are doing here is only I taught you with this particular question how to take anti-logarithm. I taught you. That's it. All right, because of course I was taking anti-logarithm in every single question otherwise. But I just thought you that, okay, I will make it explicit and make this thing clear to you. Let me make this thing clear to you. Here we go. The next one. Here we go. The next one. Next one. Pretty much pattern based questions. There are two ways to handle this. I will teach you both the ways because you need to know both the ways here. But the second way, you will become much more comfortable all at once you do your progressions chapter. Let's sum up to infinite terms of infinity is something that we use here as well. Fair enough. Let's take a look at this here. Let us call this as x. Let us call this as x. X is equal to this. X is equal to this. All right, x is equal to this. All right, yeah. Or let me call the value of this is v. Let us call the value of this is v. V is equal to something. What is v? Value of this is v. I got to find the v here, right? I got to find the v here. Fine, that's a value that I'm finding. So here, let me put it like this. This would have come across already in quadratic equations or whatever, right? Now root 5, another root 5, another root 5, all of this. Okay, let me say that, oh, this is nothing but dot dot dot. This is nothing but x. Let me call this as x. If I call this as x, root 5, this as x, then this is also x. Had I taken only from here the green line, what would I have taken only from here? As if that blue line does not exist. That is also x. This green line only. What if I would have said that, okay, this did not exist here? I'll remove this, say like this only. That is also x only. Why this is not x? Because anyway dot 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 is up to infinity, x only. Bring it back to life. Bring it back to life. That is there. Well, it is not that it is not there. Even that x is there here, right? Therefore, you would say that, okay, this is nothing but root of 5 that was there. Well, it is not that it is not there. It is there. But that is also x. This green one is x. Therefore, you write this as under root of 5x is also equal to x. Square it on both the sides. Or let's square it on both the sides. Or you will get 5x is equal to x square. 5x is equal to x square. All right. Therefore, x square minus 5x is equal to 0. That is x times of x minus 5 is equal to 0. Therefore, x should be 0 or x should be 5. X cannot be 0. Now look at this. All right. Now, how can this value be 0? This is x, right? Fundamentally, this is x. Okay, what is x, friends? All right. Now, fundamentally, what you are writing here is nothing but x. This is x here. So how can this be 0? So many positive numbers. Therefore, ruled out. Math will tell anything and everything. Don't worry, right? But you have to put your logic. X cannot be 0. Therefore, x is equal to 5. Come back, substitute, because this you called it as x. Log 5, and this entire thing was x only, because that's what you took it here. X. That's x. Here, what is the value of x here? You got finally value of x is equal to 5. Therefore, you are saying that log 5 to the base 5. What is log 5 to the base 5? 1. That's a value. Therefore, the approximate, very closest approximate value of this. Math always gives the very closest approximation of this. So very, very close. Already there is almost a zero error kind of, right? Very closest approximation of this value is nothing but 1. Alright, no, value is nothing but 1. Okay, I will teach you all a much trickier question than this when we are doing the progressions chapter, because I will introduce you to sum up to infinity. Alright, while doing that, I will introduce you to that. Alright, yeah, meanwhile, nevertheless, you can do this as a homework. Alright, this can be done by using the progression concept, very, very easy. Right, yeah, you are right here. This is the cube root. Alright, here it is cube root and here it is square root. There is a cube root and a square root. Alright, here it is a cube root and a square root. But yes, I'm just introducing the thought. I will come back to this particular question during the progressions and we solve. But meanwhile, already if you are clear about sum up to infinite terms, you can try it out. You can try it out and you can get the value of x here. You can get the value of x here. Let me go further. Let me go further here. Let me go further. Let me go further. Now here, this is the question. Find the number of digits in this particular number. What I'm interested in, number of digits. I'm not interested in the value of this, right? I'm not interested in the value. I'm interested in the number of digits that are there in this question. Look at this. What is the algorithm I use, friends? This is the algorithm I use. Hey, what is the smallest two-digit number? All of you understand this. It's easier. Otherwise, you may have to read. All right, now there are two ways to do this. One, by the way of understanding characteristic and mantissa. Now other way around is what? Just by understanding a simple math, by understanding a simple understanding of numbers. Now let me not introduce you to the words again, characteristic and mantissa. Sure, those who already got that characteristic and mantissa in logarithm, gain. So if you did not get what is this characteristic and mantissa I'm talking, don't bother about it. Follow this algorithm. This is also good enough to find the number of digits. All characteristic and mantissa is required only to find the number of digits. Otherwise, already now that's not required here. So let us understand it. What is the smallest two-digit number? Smallest two-digit number is 10 power 1. Alright, 10 power 1. Very good. Here, what is the smallest three-digit number? Alright, smallest three-digit number in decimal system I'm talking. Smallest three-digit number is 10 power 2. Why? What is 10 power 1? 10. What is 10 power 2? 100. It's the smallest three-digit number. That's right. That's right. Here, what is smallest four-digit number? If I say smallest four-digit number is 10 raised to power 3, alright, which would become 1000, alright, which is 1000. Now if I say that, okay, what would be if I introduce a word here, if I introduce something here, so therefore if I introduce between these two, alright, now between these two, I introduced a 10 raised to power 2.4. How many digits will be there in 10 raised to power 2.4? If I simply write number of digits, alright, how many digit number it is? Alright, digit, not the decimal place, etc. Leave it. 10 raised to power 2.4. Simple. 10 raised to power 2.4 will have 3 digits. All right, you would simply say that okay, 10 raised to power 2.4 will have, it's a 3-digit number. It is one of the 3-digit numbers. Why? Because 10 power 2 is the smallest 3-digit number. 10 power 3 is the smallest 4-digit number. Smallest, both of them are smallest. If 10 power 2 and 10 power 3 are smallest, then what about I change the decimal place here? I will write 10 raised to power x, which lies between 10 power 2 and 10 power 3, because 10 power 2 has 3 digits, 3-digit number. 10 power 3, this is the smallest 3-digit number. This is the smallest, and this is the smallest 4-digit number. This is the smallest 4-digit number. Therefore, what about I write x anywhere between 2 and 3, which means I write it as 2 power 4. 2 power 4. If this is the smallest 4-digit number, then this is one of the 3-digit numbers. This is one of the 3-digit numbers. This is one of the 3-digit numbers. That is it, friend. This is all the algorithm that I use. If I know what is my smallest 2-digit number, if I know what is my smallest 3-digit number, smallest 4-digit number like this, if I write any decimal here, I know how many digits are there in that number. That's it. Simple, right? So let's use that algorithm here. Let's understand what is this. Let's say that this number is n. What is n here? 625 raised to power 25. Very good. But then I want to write this as what? I want to write n is equal to 10 raised to power x. Because if I write 10 raised to power x, I will be able to tell the number of digits just in a jiffy. Within no time, I will tell you. If you write 10 raised to power x, you write whatever you want for x, I will tell you how many digits are there in that number. It's simple for me, right? That is simple for me. So therefore, I want to write like this. But he gave 625 raised to power 25. But I would have loved to write it as 10 raised to power something. Let's see, how do we write this? How do we write this? First, let us simplify. What is this here? This is 5 raised to power 4 raised to power 25, which is nothing but 5 raised to power 100. N is equal to this. No worries. All right, now let's say that all right now. So look at this. All right, I have to capitalize on this information. What is given? 5 raised to log 5 to the base 10 is given. Therefore, take logarithm on both the sides. We learned how to take anti-logarithm. Now, what I'm saying, take logarithm this time. Okay, log n to which base? 10 base. Say why 10 base? Because author has given a value for a 10 base. What is given, you better use it. Don't let us not go with our own whims and fancies. Let's go with what is the information. Good. Okay, here. Therefore, log 5 to the power 5 raised to power 100 to the base 10. What did I do? I introduced logarithm on both the sides. I introduced logarithm on both the sides. Okay, now this would become what? Log n to the base 10 is also equal to 100. All right, now which one you are using? You are using the power rule. Get this 100 here. 100 times of log 5 to the base 10. Hey, what is the value of log 5 to the base 10 given? Log 5 to the base 10 is given 0.699. Write it. Therefore, you will say that, hey, this is 100 times of 0.699. Okay, great. That is what? Log n to the base 10. Therefore, therefore log n to the base 10 is also 69.9. Now take anti-logarithm, my friends. Take anti-logarithm. This 10 goes here. Therefore, you will write this as n is equal to 10 raised to power 69.9. So what did you get here, my friends? 10 raised to power 69.9. That is the value of n. Same thing, which means this n can also be written as 10 raised to power 69.9. 69.9 is same as this. 10 raised to power 69.9 is same as this. That's what you are trying to say. Very good. How many digits are there in 10 raised to power 69.9? It lies between 10 raised to power 69. It lies between 10 raised to power 69 and 10 raised to power 70. 10 raised to power 69 has how many digits? This is the smallest 70 digit number. All right, 10 raised to power 69 is smallest 70 digit number. Hey, what is this? This is smallest 71 digit number. So therefore, what is 69.9? This will become one of the 70 digit number. It is not the smallest, neither the largest. It is one of the 70 digit number. So therefore, how many digits are there? Therefore, you will say that there are 70 digits in n. There are 70 digits in my number. Simple. That's all the simple algorithm that we use. All right, very simple algorithm, because we know this smallest 2-digit number, we know smallest 3-digit number, we know. If you know it, why don't you use the same thing or use the same concept? You don't have to get into characteristic and mantissa. If you know characteristic and mantissa, you will save 2 steps from here. This is also not a difficult algorithm. Pretty simple algorithm to deal with, right? Pretty simple algorithm to deal with. You can take this as a homework. Find the number of digits in 16 raised to power 20. Already you can deal this as a homework. I'll do a couple more different type of questions. Well, a different type of questions. Well, here we go. Find the sum up to 12 terms of this particular series. This is the first term. All right, this is the author is saying this is the first term, term 1. All right, this is the term 1. This is the term 2. All right, this is the term 3, and so on. and there is a 12th term as well. Finally, already he's saying that you're at your mercy, you write the 12th term. Already you write the 12th term. Right, you write the 12th term. Fine. What I do is, first let me write the equivalent of this term. See, what is the problem with this? The problem with this is the bases are not same. There is a 3 here, there is a 9 here, there is a 27 here. Of course, there's a pattern to this. The bases are not same. On the other hand, there is 9 everywhere constant. Yeah, this 9 is constant. Therefore, what I do, I will apply the inverse rule. All right, now take the first term, for example. Let me take the first term. What is my first term here? My first term is 1 divided by log 9 to the base 3. This can also be written as log 3 to the base 9. All right, that's the inverse rule. If I take it to the numerator, all right, these two elements will get interchanged. That's called as the inverse rule. That's what we talked about it, right? 3 to the base 9 applied here. Therefore, the first term can be written as log 3 to the base 9. Second term can be written as log 9 to the base 9. Third term can be written as log 27 to the base 9, and so on. I got to write up to 12 terms. All right, now this is the value sum s is equal to. You're finding that sum of this. Hey, okay, what is this, man? Technically, all right, this is nothing but log 3 to the base 9. This is log 3 square to the base 9. This is log 3 cube to the base 9. Oh, got it. All right, therefore the first term is 3 power 1, the second term is 3 square, third term is 3 cube. What will be 12th term? Therefore log 3 to the power 12, or 3 raised to power 12 to the base 9. Very good. So now what rule I will apply? I will apply the addition rule. I'll apply the product rule. All right, product rule is what? Because all my bases are same here, log 9 9. So if I apply the product rule, how does it look like? Log 9. So inside the bracket you will have 3 power 1 into 3 power 2 into 3 power 3, like this, into 3 power 12. What did you do? I applied the product rule. All right, now because we know the product, that's a very first law that we learned. Apply the product rule. Now law of indices. On this you can apply the law of indices. This becomes what? S is equal to log, all right, 3 raised to power 1 plus 2 plus 3, like this, up to 12. That is what it would become. Right, of this would become. So we can add the numbers, summation series 1 2 3 4 5 up to 12, that we know. All right, that is nothing but 12 into 13 divided by 2. Right, that's where that 13 divided by 2. Therefore it will become s is equal to 9 and then 3 raised to power 78. What did I do? I just added these numbers and the power. It has become 78. Good. Hey, what is this s therefore? Therefore you would say that this s is also nothing but 3 square raised to a log. There is a log here, right, friends? There is s is equal to log. So therefore s is also equal to, thereby s is nothing but log 3 square, that's in the base, then 3 raised to power 78. Use the power rule, my friends. Use the power rule. If I use the power rule, it will become 78 by 2 log 3 to the base 3. We know the log 3 to the base 3 is 1. Therefore the required answer is 78 by 2, which becomes 39. All right, which would be the answer. All right, the sum. He asked the sum of this series. You are saying that sum is 39. When you add up all these fellows, the sum becomes 39. All right, which would be your answer. Pretty simple one. Always remember that make the bases equal. That's a point I was trying to make here. Another popular type that you get. Another popular type. Done, guys. Another 5-10 minutes. We are done. Another 2 examples. I will close it. All right, with another 2 examples, I will close it. Yeah, let's take a look at this. All right, A, B, C, D are positive numbers. All right, such that, all right, now this is the given information. See, whenever there are a lot of equal to signs, one way of dealing with, that's what you would have learned in algebra. One way of dealing with this is simply make it equal to another constant k. Make everything equal to another constant called k. That's what you learned in math. That's what you learned in algebra. All right, now that's what you learned. If there is 1 equal, 2 equal, more than 1 equal, you put another equal extra, you put another equal extra, and then you tally each one of them. That's a usual math. All right, that's a usual algebra. So what you are trying to say, a square is equal to k. You are saying that a square is equal to k. Therefore, a is equal to k raised to power 1 by 2. Second one, b square is also equal to k. What you do, there are 4 variables. You are cutting it down to 1 variable, right? We're cutting it down to 1 variable. So you are trying to say that b square is equal to k. Therefore, b is equal to k raised to power 1 by 2. Perfect. Then c raised to power 5 is equal to k. You are equating this now. C raised to power 5 equal to k. Therefore, k is equal to, therefore c is equal to k raised to power 1 by 5. Therefore, c is equal to k raised to power 1 by 5. Then you have d raised to power 6 is equal to k. Therefore, d is equal to k raised to power 1 by 6. Simple. All right, that's what you would have written. Then you are saying that, hey, why don't you find the value of this? Sure, we will find, because we know the values of a, b, c, and d. We can write it. Everything is in terms of k. Therefore, all right, it's easier to write. Therefore, you put it as log k raised to power 1 by 6. Right here you are writing it as k raised to power of 1 by 2 into k raised to power of 1 by 2, that is b, another k raised to power 1 by 5. So when you're writing law of indices, just add them. So therefore it will become k raised to power 1 by 6. Then here you are writing k raised to power 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 5. Law of indices. All right, this will become k raised to power 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 5. That's the law of indices. Right now that will become 6 by 5. All right, that would all technically become 6 by 5. Right, that would become 6 by 5, right? So everybody is clear about that. Therefore 1 plus 1 by 5, which is 6 by 5. Now simplify. Therefore law of all, use the power rule. Use the power rule. If you use the power rule, all right, now this 1 by 6 and the 6 by 1 by 6, 1 by 6 and 6 by 5 comes out, jumps out. Therefore you are calling it, it is also equal to 1. All right, this is nothing but 6 by 5 divided by 1 by 6 times of log k to the base k. What is k to the base k? 1. Therefore, what is the required answer here? The required answer is 36 divided by 5. All right, the required answer is 36 divided by 5. That's the required answer here. Right, simple question. All right, that's a simple question. That's a question out there. Fine, next one. Let's go to the next one. It's a beautiful cat question. It's one of the beautiful questions. Think about it for a minute, then we'll do it together. Yeah, all right. So you would have done this. Let's take a look here. Again. The best way to start is what? Very standardized way. Equal to k. I said that more than one equal to sign. If you see, you put another one. You put another one and make your life comfortable. All right. That's how typical algebra works. A typical algebra works. It's exceptions are there. Exceptions are there. That's very rare. That hardly comes in the exam. Don't worry. You put another equal to k and your life is sorted. Your life gets sorted. So equate one at a time. So now bring it here. All right, equal to k. All right, equal to k. So therefore you are saying that okay, log m to the base 9 is equal to k. Take anti-logarithm here. If you take anti-logarithm, you would say that m is equal to 9 raised to power k. 9 raised to power k. That can also be written as 3 raised to power 2k. Okay, that's not very important. Write as 9 raised to power k. That's fair enough. Okay, let's write the next one. Let's write the next one here. Equal to k. Substitute all it. Now this also make it equal to k here. Therefore you would say that log n to the base 12 is equal to k. All right, therefore take anti-logarithm. Take anti-logarithm means get rid of this. All right, take anti-logarithm means get rid of this. Therefore you will say that base remains base. N is equal to 12 raised to power k. Fair enough. Equate the last one like this in a similar fashion. Therefore you would say log m plus n to the base 16 is also equal to k. Take anti-logarithm, friends, get rid of this. Therefore you would say that m plus n. Therefore m plus n is equal to k raised to power or k raised to power 16. Let k raised to power 16. Sorry, m plus n is equal to 16 raised to power k, is equal to 16 raised to power k. Good. All right. So that's if you just rewrite them, this 16 can also be written as 4 raised to power 2k. I will tell you why I'm thinking like that. This 12 can be written as 3 raised to power k into 4 raised to power k. Thereby, it looks that hey, all my bases are same. All it now looks like all it now my bases all it it's made up of 3 here. It is made up of 3, 4, 4. All it therefore it looks all it there is a pattern to this, right? That's right. So then you try and find out. He's interested in what is n by m. All right, he's interested in what is n by m. You try to all right now. This is another cat type of question where you got to establish a relationship. You got to establish a relationship between the three. All right, now that's where the people miss the plot. All right, that is where people miss the plot, because the author wanted what is m by n. All right, if you want to get that m by n, all right, now so there is a 3 here, but there is a 3 as well as 4. You got to get a relationship between the two. I will tell you guys what to do here. Look at this. If I write n square, what is n square? N square is also equal to all right m into all right m plus n. There is a relationship. Okay, you didn't get this, let me substitute there. All right, that is what should be seen. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Likewise, all right, you will look at these particular numbers and this thought should come. If this thought does not come, it becomes really cumbersome to solve this particular question. I will tell you. All right, now here, now look at this. All right, now you have 3 raised to, all right, what is n square is equal to? N square is equal to m into m plus n. Let me substitute it. What is n square, my friends, for your information? So what I'm seeing is this. What I saw is this. Hey, m square is nothing but 3 raised to power 2k into 4 raised to power 2k. That is n square, because n is 3 raised to power k and 4 raised to power k. If I do n square, what do I get? If I do n square here, all right, then this will become 2k and this will become 4k. All right, that's what it would have become. That is n square would have become. Correct. What is m here? What is m here? M is nothing but 3 raised to power 2k. Correct. That's what I have it here. Hey, what is m plus n? M plus n is nothing but 4 raised to power 2k. This is what I observed. This is what I observed. All right, now looking at this, I wrote that n square is equal to m times of m plus n, because these two numerically, I observed on the number side. I didn't observe on the variable side. I observed it on the number side. Then I arrived at this. Now from here, it's a beautiful algebra, very powerful and very simplified algebra here. What is simplified algebra? You want n by m, divide throughout by m square. The problem is over. Divide throughout by m square, then you will automatically get n by m. So now look here, n square by m square is also equal to m divided m into m plus n divided by n square. Your m square, already you will understand why I'm doing this. So thereby it becomes n square by m square. I'm doing simple algebra here, friends. N square by m square, or n by m whole square, whichever way you write does not matter. N by m whole square, 1m gets cancelled with 1m here, therefore m plus m, that is 1 divided by n by m. All right, it looks like this. After simplifying, now what you will say? You will say that put n by m is equal to x and find x. X itself is your answer. Put n by m is equal to x and find the value of x here. What is n by m? N by m, you called it as x, therefore it becomes a quadratic. X square is equal to 1 plus x. Perfect. All right, therefore you would say that quadratic. All right, here take this quadratic. This is nothing but x square minus x minus 1 is equal to 0. So apply. All right, what are the roots? Alpha and beta. Roots are nothing but b square, all right, minus b, all right, minus b. Roots are nothing but minus b plus or minus under root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Apply this. All right, because you are not able to factorize this one here. You are not able to factorize this. If you can't factorize, apply this part. Hey, what is minus b? 1 plus or minus b square minus 4ac, that is 1 minus 4 into 1 into this, which will become plus 4 divided by what? 2. All right, divided by 2a, that is nothing but 2. That is alpha and beta. Therefore alpha, let me take the positive value, 1 plus root 5 by 2. What is beta? Beta is nothing but 1 minus root 5 by 2. All right, root 5 by 2. These are my alphas and betas. All right, these are the roots. Technically x values are nothing but this. This is the value of x. Now which one I should take? I should take the positive one. You should take this positive one, not the negative one, because 1 minus root 5 is negative, because root 5 is greater than minus 1, right? Where root 5 is greater than 1, therefore the beta is negative, because the value cannot be negative. You may wonder, why value cannot be negative? It is given m and n are positive numbers. If m and n are positive numbers, a positive number divided by positive number, why on earth it will become negative? It is positive, right? It would be positive. Therefore you take the positive value, which becomes your answer. Therefore you are writing this as root 5 plus 1 divided by 2. That becomes your answer. Beautiful question here. Beautiful question. Let's do one last question and stop. Let's do one last cat question and stop. All right, with that we'll stop. Beautiful cat question. We'll do this and then we'll stop with this. So a little bit of lateral thoughts are there behind these questions, just like your, all right, there was in the previous question, a little bit of a lateral thought. What is the lateral thought? Are you getting the pattern between these three variables? Is what has been questioned here in the previous question. All right, he was also questioning about, all right, are you getting the pattern here? All right, are you getting a relationship here? Can you observe a relationship? There is a 3 raised to power 2k, 4 raised to power 2k. Why can't you make that 2k and then find a relationship? If you could observe and find that relationship, it is done. That's a little lateral thought, because generally we don't observe that relationship there. Of course, in algebra, identifying such relationships become important to solve some of the critical questions. You need to be calm, cool, composed. Then you'll be able to identify those relationships. Fine, here we go. Here we go. And with practice also, you'll be able to identify relationship much faster, friends. Much faster. Okay, let's take a look at this question. Let's take a look at this question. Let me start with the put. All right, now so here it is given to me. All right, let me start here. Log x to the base 2. Log x to the base 2. Let me call it as, all right, log x to the base 2. Let me call it as a, b, whatever. All right, let me call it something there. Let me call it something like this. Log x to the base 2 is equal to y. Let me call it like this. Let me call it like this. Therefore, how do I write this u? Therefore, I will write u is equal to, therefore u is equal to y square minus 6y plus 12. Y square minus 6y plus 12. Already you will write it like this. Now the point here is the u is coming here also, u is coming here also, and then u is coming there, and then this x is also there. Can I use it again? Already you got this, where the lateral thought comes in the picture, easier thought. Can I use that u also here? Yes, you can use it. So how do I use it here? Take this particular piece, friends. Now so it's given that x raised to power u is equal to 256. Deliberately use log to use this advantage. Now see, there is a x here. Why can't I use the log function on both the sides? Please use. Now you will say that log to the base 2. Let log x raised to power u to the base 2. Why base 2? Because base 2 value I know. If you write some other base, I don't know that value, right? So because that is y. What is that value? Value is y. It may be still variable, but I know it is at least y. I know it is at least y. So therefore what you do, introduce log on both the sides. I took this piece here. What did I do? I introduced log on both the sides here. Log to what base? Base 2. Base don't change. Never change the bases. Base 2 both are given as base 2. That you don't change. Having the same base is very, very important in logarithms. All right. Therefore you are here. Log x raised to power u to the base 2 is also nothing but log 256 to the base 2. All right, same thing, same application you did, therefore the equation remains same. Equation remains same. Okay, now here you apply this. What is this here, friends? This is log 2 to the 2 raised to power 8 to the base 2. Very good. So that will become how much? 8, because 8 log 2 to the base 2. 2 to the base 2 is nothing but 1. Therefore it is 8. What is that you are trying to say? Log x to the x to the power u to the base 2 is this. Now what do I do? This is 1, right? This is 1. This I am removing it. This is 1. Log 2 to the base 2 is 1. Now what do I do? Take anti-logarithm. Take anti. All right, first you get this u here. Power rule. Use power rule. U log x to the base 2 is also equal to 8. All right, u log x to the base 2 is also equal to 8. That's what you are trying to say here. Right, is also equal to 8. From here I can get the value. All right, now what is this value here? Log x to the base 2 is what? Log x to the base 2 is what? Log x to the base 2 is nothing. Log x to the base 2 is nothing but y. Therefore you are trying to say u into y is equal to 8. Therefore y is equal to, or u is equal to, or therefore u is equal to 8 by y. Therefore u is equal to 8 by y. Fine. So substitute it here. Come back, substitute for u. What is u here, guys? U is nothing but 8 by y. U is nothing but 8 by y. 8 by y is equal to y square minus 6y plus 12. Beautiful. So multiply throughout by y. Multiply throughout by y. Therefore 8 is equal to y cube minus 6y square plus 12y. Write it as a cubic equation. Y cube minus 6y square plus 12y plus 8 minus 8 is equal to 0. All right, minus 8 is equal to 0. It's a beautiful cubic equation. You know that this is nothing but y minus 2 whole square or 2 whole cube is equal to 0. This is y minus expansion of y minus 2 whole cube. So you may wonder that, hey, how do you understand that this is this is what it is going to be? All right, this is how it is going to be. It comes by a little bit small practice there. No big deal about it. All right, look for the factors of 8, etc. You will get it. Otherwise, all right, some small numbers. All right, some small numbers you can try. All right, thereby you will get it. Otherwise, all right, now so if because of the unfamiliarity, all right, to understand that this is y minus 2 whole cube, it is so difficult because of unfamiliarity. That is it. No other thing out there. So therefore, technically, you say that, hey, this equation is nothing but y minus 2 whole cube is equal to 0. If y minus 2 whole cube is equal to 0, then y is equal to 2. Then y is equal to 2. Good. If y is equal to 2, come back and substitute where here, because y is equal to 2. Substitute. All right, now bring this out here. Substitute. Therefore you are saying that log x to the base 2 is also equal to 2, because y is equal to 2 is equal to y. You said, so what is the y value here? Substitute here. Y value is nothing but to take anti-logarithm. Take anti-logarithm. Therefore x is equal to 2 raised to power 2. All right, which is nothing but 4. That is the answer. He said that. All right, then equation is true. Find how many solutions for x. There is only one solution. The solution for x is 4. In case already they ask that what is that value, that value is nothing but 4. Okay, I tried to cover basics of both logarithms as well as the set theory. Now, what you got to do is do about 3-4 dozen questions on each of these topics. All right, so that you get exposure to varieties. All right, by now already know. So by now already you would have got the familiarity through this particular lecture. I introduced all elements. I did not skip any element. Even you already, even when you are doing set theory, I introduced you to maxima minima as well. Right, in logarithms, I introduced you to some of the critical cat questions as well. All varieties, including domain, confirmation. So all varieties I've covered in the logarithms. The basic I covered. I did not hit the depth in all depth because of the want of time, because we do it for 1.5 hours for each topic. So I'll not be able to cover the depth. But of course, if time is there, then we will see towards the end. But I covered the base. Try to capitalize on this particular base. I'll stop here. Stay blessed. I will see you in my next video. Bye till then. Continue to watch.